Welcome, race fans. You are watching MaxSpeedTV, the OP Racing 2001 Throwback Series here on tap. I'll be your host, Roger Muth, as always, here on Friday nights. Tonight, we got Bristol, the last great Colosseum. 250 laps here, 125 miles the distance. A little less cars in lobby than we're used to seeing here on Friday night with the OP guys, but I guarantee you, they are still going to put on one heck of a show. 21 cars here have taken time so far in practices. We got about 3 minutes. 23 cars in the lobby. You got your points leader out here. You still got Katie Haight out here. Garrett Grant also out here. Chase Berry, Tony Quadros. A lot of the top heavy hitters. Aspen Belvin, Tristan Walker. Forrest Sparks a little down on the speed charts early on here in practice. But look for them once qualifying comes out here and here. And once the race starts, they're going to go straight to the front. Here's your race facts for this evening. Here at Bristol, the air temp as the lights are on here. These guys practiced. It was daytime into the evening. Now it's a little bit darker. The air temp started at 85 degrees, now down to 75 degrees. That track temp when I joined the lobby was up over 100 degrees for practice. Now it is down at 77. So there is your temperature on your track, 77 degrees. Like I just said, laps here tonight, 250 laps. 125 miles the distance. Tire window tonight, you're probably looking at, I have 7 to 12 laps. It's probably how long you're going to be able to hold the bottom. The fast lane around here tonight, though, will be that outside groove. Fuel window, if we get there, 70 to 80 laps. Look for those guys to be screaming for tires way before that pit road speed, though. Going to be 30 miles an hour here at Bristol. And iRacing does not have that you must go all the way around both sectors for pit road. You only have to pit if you qualify in your top, I believe it's the top 25. So right now, anybody who's in here in the lobby is going to qualify. Should be there pitting on the front stretch, so they won't have to really worry about that. But as we continue on here with our pre-race shows, we got a minute and 30 left here in practice as we're going to check out your OP Racing 2001 Throwback Series point standings. Cody Levitt leading the way right now, has a 99-point lead over Tristan Walker. Forrest Sparks there in third in points. It's 106 points back. Garrett Grant, also a very strong competitor, Garrett is. You see him week in and week out battling inside your top five, just having a couple, miscues out here on track sometimes. 118 points back. Brian Beach slots into your fifth position. Scott Bellum is sixth in points. And Katie Haight. Katie, there's so much to say about Katie. Such a talented young lady here on iRacing. I've seen her bounce around on the open lobbies, and she pretty much walks away from everybody. She has a fast car, just finds herself kind of mixed up in the wrong place, wrong time kind of situation. So she's seventh in points. David Gainforth is in your... Katie's in seventh. David Gameforth in eighth in points. Alex Green, who actually I just see join the lobby, so he's going to be the 23rd car, 24 cars now. So he slots himself into ninth in points. Derek Conley's going to round out your top 10 in points. Kelly Milam is 11th. David Sabin there is in 12th. Joshua Spalding, 13th. Tanner Thews, who is very quick. He's back in 14th after missing a week. Timothy Trowbridge, 15th. Joe Maglio there in 16th, Ed Walk in 17th, Bill Bessler 18th, Aspen Belvin 19th, and Dustin German. That whole top 20 right there is packed with heavy hitters. Just guys that just need, things to kind of go their way. Right now, as you see, only about 5 seconds left here in practice. We're going to hop over here to qualifying in just a moment. These guys are going to have 2 laps for qualifying. 15 minutes, so they're going to have their driver meeting after a bunch of these guys go out. So we're going to bring you qualifying here. And then, there was an interesting thing. The track was just nighttime. Not sure how that works with iRacing. Everybody's still learning this system. It's now daytime here at Bristol Motor Speedway. First guy out on track, though, is going to be that 48 of Ed Walk. See what kind of lap times Ed's able to put down on that green 48 machine. As I said, he's the first one out here, so the track is rather green again. Four drivers are going to qualify here at Bristol. Let's see what Ed puts in for his first time. Alex Green was the first one to put in a time, as he's going to go, Alex Green's going to go 14.618 on his first lap. Let's see if he's going to be able to get a better lap here on a second lap. These are the first laps that 20 cars turned. He's going to shut her down after one lap. Looks like Brent Elmore out here. He put in a 14.666 on his second lap there, so that's going to be the best that Brent's going to put out. David Gainforth out here in the Fred Flintstone Mobile, the 101 of David Gainforth. Gainforth, one of those drivers who's always going to be a strong competitor no matter where he starts here tonight. He's going to work his way towards the front. He will be a contender here in the late goings. Let's see what kind of lap time Fred Flintstone can put down as he comes off turn 4 right there. The 101 at Gainforth is going to go to the top of the board with a 14.537. So you got a new pole setter as they sit right now. Garrett Grant was also just out there. He's now slotted in second. He put down a 14.58. Gainforth comes through now on that second lap a little bit slower with a 14.7, so he won't go any faster on his second lap. Looks like Aaron Tallhurst in the 90 is back in action here as you see him come off turn 2 there, get into the wall, so his first lap here not going to count. Let's see if he can do a little bit better, keep it out of the wall here on lap number 2. A couple weeks ago, that number 90 of Aaron Tallhurst had a dance with the lady in black, and she was not kind to that 90 as he was bounced around like a pinball. He's looking to rebound, though, here at the last great Coliseum here at Bristol Motor Speedway. That 90 comes through the traps there that time. Still no lap time being put in for that number 90 of Aaron Tallhurst, so he may have gotten the wall quite a few times that we did not see. Tanner Thews out here in his, iconic number 23, the white Good Wrench Plus car. Tanner, one of those guys week in and week out, like I keep saying about a lot of these guys. Everybody that showed up here to Bristol is quick. Tanner Thews, though, one of those guys that is always up at the front. Just has to put himself a good week together and possibly put that number 23 in victory lane. I believe he came off corner number 4 there and got a little bit of that wall, so he's not going to be able to put in a qualifying attempt. That's going to hurt because we are here at Bristol, and we know how Bristol can be sometimes. Here comes the 184 of Lynn McNeese. Lynn McNeese driving that gold and black car. That's usually Lynn McNeese's paint scheme that you see him run week in and week out, not just over here, but all over the board. He's going to shut it down. There was something he didn't like there with his setup, so we're going to jump to somebody else. It looks like the 38, your points leader, Cody Levitt, out here running the top side in that orange East Penn Manufacturing Deca Batteries car. Let's see as he comes up to speed this time as he goes down into turn 1 and 2. He's kind of running a different line than everybody else. As you see him come off turn 2 and into the wall, he's going to have to shut it down. He has one more lap left in the bank, so he's going to elect to take that one to the garage and come back out with a fresh car as you see him respawn there on pit road. David Sabin also here this evening in the number 58 Mountain Dew Chevy Monte Carlo. Doesn't look like he has something set right to his liking either as he's way off the pace. He's going to pull her back down. Lynn McNeese, though, back out here trying to put in one qualifying attempt at least, so he doesn't want to start towards the back. Everybody out there on YouTube, thanks for tuning in. You are watching the OP Racing 2001 Throwback Series over here on MaxSpeedTV. I'm your host, I am Roger. As you see, actually, Lynn McNeese get into the wall once again, so he's actually going to get a qualifying attempt. He's going to go 6th quick on the board there with a 14.762. Cody Levitt out there on track, but he is unfortunately not going to get a qualifying attempt in here in that 38 machine, so that's going to be one heck of a battle that the 38 is going to have to work with here this evening. Chase Berry sitting here in the Lego number 11. He's on pit road, but he does not look like he's ready to go out there for practice just yet. Anthony Poston, though, he's out here on track in that 28 machine. We missed him come out here on track. He snuck out on us there in that Texaco Haviland 28. He did put that 28, though, up on pole with his first lap. His first lap was a 14.520. That's good enough for the pole here, so that's going to slot Anthony into being your pole setter as they sit right now. Looks like we got one guy coming out here on track. That looks like it's the number 2 of Tristan Walker in the Miller Lite Blue Deuce. But once again, probably something not set correctly on Tristan Walker's car. That is correct. That was just poked by an admin. Like we talked about under yellow, even under yellow, that they will be coming down one pit road. If they're assigned to the backstretch, they'll be pitting on the backstretch and exiting on the backstretch. If they're assigned to the front stretch, they will come in on the front stretch and exit. We had talked about that. You know, right now, I don't believe we have enough cars to get these guys to go to the backstretch just yet. But as we got 8 minutes here in qualifying left, we're going to step away for just a moment since we don't have anybody actually out there on track. Don't go anywhere. You don't want to miss a thing here from the OP Racing guys. They always put on one heck of a show, and they're at Bristol, the last great Colosseum. It's going to go from daytime to nighttime here. You're going to see that transition. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be my first time seeing it, and I'm glad I'm going to get to bring it here to everybody out here tuning in on MaxSpeedTV. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with you.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You haven't really missed too much. Looks like Chase Berry's still sitting on pit road, not electing to turn in a lap just yet, as now he starts to roll once again. Let's see if we can follow that number 11 Lego machine around the track, as he did try to put in a lap on his first one, but ended up spinning out. Only 12 cars have taken a qualifying attempt so far. He's going to be your 13th guy attempting to make, or actually put in a lap time. We did see the number 38 Levitt out here trying to attempt a qualifying. He hit the wall, so no time being put in for him. Ed Walk, also in the 48, came out for a qualifying attempt. Unfortunately, slapped the wall coming out of the corner. Let's see what Chase Berry can do here. Chase Berry did put in a 14.6, or 14.662. That would have put him up into about, it looks like, the 7th position, but since he used up the clock on his attempt there, hitting the wall, his time won't count. He's just going to sit that Lego machine out there and run a couple laps. Also, a couple other guys who did attempt qualifying who unfortunately were not able to put in any times. That was going to be the 23 of Tanner Thews and the number 90 of Aaron Tolhurst. But while we're sitting here waiting for qualifying to kind of wind down, let's see if we can get a word in with your points leader here this evening. Cody Levitt, you got a copy. It's Roger up in the booth.
Yeah, I got you.
Well, Cody, you come into this race here at Bristol. You've been having one heck of a season so far to start the year. Now we come here to the first, like, real challenging short track, and you have a 99-point lead over the number 2 attrition Walker. What's your game plan? What's your strategy here going into Bristol? How are you going to try and extend that lead? And it looks like we only have, like, what, 26 drivers here this evening.
It's gonna take some luck. I gotta come from back today. Hit the wall a couple times on the qualifying laps, so just gotta keep it out of trouble and just hope for others to get into it.
Yeah, but you starting out in the back, everybody knows if there's some kind of issue here at Bristol, the guys running out back. It's a small track, it's a tight track, and those guys out back kind of get involved real quick. It's I don't want to say like a super speedway, it kind of clogs the track, but it's similar style to that.
Yeah, it's pretty close to the same. Like, it's just one issue up front, you're in it, and it's ridiculous. But we'll get through it, man. It's gonna be fun. I'm excited.
Well, Cody, I'm also glad. I got to give you a shout out. Last week you had a white driver bar, and it drove Bobby and I crazy up here in the booth the whole race long. So we're glad to see you have finally elected to change that to the color orange. We appreciate that, and I know all of our viewers also will appreciate that.
Oh, you're welcome, man.
Well, there's your points leader, the 38 of Cody Levitt, not being able to put in an actual qualifying attempt here this evening. So he's going to have to start at the back of this field and hopefully work his way through, as it looks like we have one last guy out here on track that just put in a one lap time. That's going to be the 19 of Matt Henry. Matt Henry is now sitting on the 10th spot on the board with a 14.772. So that slots him 10th quickest on the board right now. 13 drivers did get a qualifying attempt in, as we got about 2 minutes and 20 seconds. I did do a grid walk a little earlier here tonight, talking to a couple of these guys, and they actually said these cars out here at Bristol were really handling well. You could actually run that high line, put the car right up against the wall, and it was sticking there. So look for these guys once we get green flag racing, and once the tires start to wear just a tad, they're definitely going to move up to the high line real quick. They're not going to waste the time running around the bottom using up the tires, because the bottom lane will chew up the tires. But with everybody up there running that outside lane, one guy gets into the wall, it's going to play havoc on everybody else behind them, because everybody's going to have to be minding their P's and Q's and staying off that rear bumper. We know it's short track racing. We know sooner or later we're going to see somebody get a little impatient with somebody else, and they're going to put the back bumper, or the front bumper to the back bumper. We might see a bump and run here tonight. It is Bristol. Everybody can remember back to when Dale Earnhardt tried moving Terry Labonte out of the way. I believe that was 95 or 96. That's the type of short track racing that NASCAR is missing anymore, and that's the type of short track racing I know that OP Racing here, they do kind of bring it back, but they bring it back in a clean manner. Nobody's here to try and put Terry Labonte into the wall and put him out of the race. They just kind of want to move you up out of the groove and see if you can get back to him. It's kind of a cat and mouse game. We see it week in and week out, and it is very interesting. It's very exciting. That's why we love these guys on a Friday night, and they're certainly going to put on one heck of a show. Well, with 1 minute here left in qualifying, I'm just going to mute myself real quick. I am a little under the weather, so we're going to try and save this beautiful voice for everyone to hear me. We're going to keep the ticker running, and I'll be right back with you in about 50 seconds. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back here with the OP Racing League. Qualifying has ended. Now it's race time. It looks like everybody is going to be qualified here on the front stretch. So everybody's going to be pitting on the front stretch. So that's going to be that's going to be pretty helpful for these guys. Let's see if we can work through our starting lineup here this evening. Your 2001 OP Racing Throwback Series pole sitter here for the Bristol Motor Speedway. That's going to be the 28 of Anthony Poston. Starting right outside of him is going to be Fred Flintstone, the 101 of David Gainforth. Starting right behind them in the third position, the number 2 of Christian Walker. Starting in your fourth place, that's going to be the number 10 of Garrett Grant. Fifth place going to go to the guy who his first lap on the track was his best lap on the track, the number 20 of Alex Green. Brent Elmore in the 33 is going to roll off in that 6th position. 7th position is going to go to the 07 of Scott Bellum. The 84 of Aspen Belvin with the handlebar mustache going to start in the 8th position. 9th position is going to go to the 184, Lynn McNeese. The number 19 of Matt Henry is going to start in the 10th position. Starting in your 11th position here tonight's going to be the 53 of David Hunt. The number 7 of Forrest Sparks is going to start this race in that 12th position. Look for him to move through the field pretty quickly. Timothy Trowbridge there in the 14 car is going to start 13th. Bill Bessler in the 25 is going to roll off 14th. 15th position is going to be the 00 of Katie Haight. The number 23 of Tanner Thuse is going to start 16th here. 17th is going to go to the number 11 of Chase Berry. The 38, your points leader, is going to roll off 18th tonight. The number 48 of Ed Walk is going to start 19th. Rounding out your top 20, the number 12 of Tony Quadros. 21st is going to go to the 58 of David Sabin. The 45 of Douglas Wysocki is going to start 22nd here tonight. 23rd position is going to go to the 37 of Christopher Brown. Aaron Tolhurst in the 90 is going to start in your 24th position. And that's going to round out your field of drivers here tonight for the OP Racing League. We are getting ready to go green as we're going to get the one to go this time by here. We're going to be winding these cars up for 250 laps here from Bristol. Let's see who can transition the best from the daytime to the nighttime, because that's what it's going to come down to. We're going to start this race in the daytime, and you're probably going to watch the last 50 to 60 laps here once the lights come on, depending how many cautions we see here tonight. But with the smaller field, we shouldn't see too many yellows being brought out. So it's going to be one good one here from the OP guys, as always. Anthony Poston going to start there on that inside. The 101 of Gainforth to the outside. That Mustang is off the track. We are getting ready to go racing, waiting on the flagman. The green flag is out. We are racing here from Bristol. Anthony Poston going to be your control car. He is away into turn 1. He does clear David Gainforth by the time he gets to turn 1. Off turn 2, he's going to have about a 2-3 car length lead over him. But the battle is going to be for the 3rd position between the number 10 of Garrett Grant and the number 20 of Alex Green. That kind of fizzled out. They go single file there, but your first lap here tonight going to be led by the 28 of Anthony Poston. All these drivers pretty much minding their P's and Q's early on. We're single file here through your top 10. Everybody kind of running a different lane, though. You got to go all the way back to the 10th position until we find somebody side by side, and that's the 07 of Scott Bellum and the 7 of Forrest Sparks. You kind of saw a little evasive action there as we see a couple guys around here early on, and it's going to pile up a lot of them. Ed Walk trying to sneak through. Looks like the 38 of Levitt's involved. Alex Green is involved in this one. Let's see if we can go back here early on and get one of these MaxSpeedTV replays and find out what happened here to Alex Green early on on lap 3. There you see it. The number 20 just comes off the corner, gets into the wall. Tristan Walker gets around, and then Brent Elmore drives it in a little too hot. That's going to collect the 20, the 7, the 07, the 53, bunch of cars. Timothy Trowbridge, Cody Levitt, David Sabin's involved, Dave Hunt's involved. That's going to tear up a lot of these guys early on, but they do have one quick repair. Let's see, maybe we can go back here and get another quick look at this. See what happened. You see, once Timothy was coming in there, the whole track just kind of bottled up. Let's go back 20 seconds, see if we can get an onboard view here. Going on board with the number 14 of Timothy Trowbridge. On board as they come. This is going to happen once they go down into turn 1. See 2 cars sideways up there, and then just doesn't get slowed down in time. Runs into the back of the, I think that was the 53 of David Hunt. And then he's pretty much backwards, just trying to get out of the way, loop that car around. He's going to get it fired up and going back the right direction. But that's going to bring out an early yellow, as you're going to see a lot of these guys down pit road, and that's what you see. You see everybody from your 10th position on back coming down pit road. These guys do have one quick repair, so it's not the end of the world for these guys. It is early on. Something you don't want to see. It's just somebody driving it into the corner, possibly just a little too hard. Your top 5 here, though. After only 5 laps, David Gainforth did get around the 20 of 8 of Anthony Poston as we were watching towards the back of the field. These two did not come into pit. Actually, your top 9 did not pit. David Gainforth first. Anthony Poston in second. Garrett Grant third. Tristan Walker fourth. Aspen Belvin there in the 5th position. Matt Henry 6th. Lynn McNeese going to get that 184 machine turned around. He was involved in that accident, but he's going to stay on track in your 7th position. Tanner Thews there in 8th, David Sabin 9th, and Bill Bessler's going to round out your top 10. Bill Bessler's going to be the first guy on new tires here this evening, so we're going to have to watch and see how Bill can work his way up through the field. Also, along with Katie Haight, who is back there in the 12th position, your points leader battle, or is in your 13th position also. Here, David Gainforth kind of just coasting around here as he is your leader. He's trying to save a little bit of fuel on that 101 machine. He doesn't want to have to Fred Flintstone it around here once we get later on into the run. 70 to 80 laps the distance here on fuel. Let's see, once we get the one to go, which lane David Gainforth is going to elect to choose here to restart. It looks like he's going to possibly go to the outside here, as it looks like the number 28 of Anthony Poston. He's been in the wall. As I forgot, we're talking about which lane is Gainforth going to select. He only has one option. That's the outside lane. These guys are using the 2001 rule book, so any lap down car, which looks like right now we don't have any lap down cars out there just yet. If we would, they would line up to the inside. No lap down cars here for this initial first restart of the race. We're going to go back racing here. 8 laps in the books. We're going to be working lap number 9 once we go back green flag racing. Let's see if Anthony Poston can keep that 28 Haviland car off the wall, or is David Gainforth going to run away with this thing? David Gainforth bringing him down. Green flag's out. We're racing once again here with the OP boys from Bristol Motor Speedway. Down into turn 1, still going to be Gainforth. He's going to clear, well, I shouldn't say clear, but he's going to gap, it looks like, the 28 there by about a car length going down into turn number 3. Number 10 of Garrett Grant kind of under attack, kind of taking that lower lane right now. Tristan Walker working that outside lane. Tristan Walker's going to put the number 2 right there on the outside of the number 10 as they work down into turn number 3. Let's see which lane's going to have the grip. You can see it already. The number 2 is going to have the momentum off the top side. That's going to slot Garrett Grant back into your 4th position. Now it looks like Aspen Belvin going to look to the inside of Garrett Grant, but he can't put the power down coming off turn number 2, so he's going to fall right in behind, right in between both those Dodge cars, the number 10 and the number 19. Aspen Belvin, the sandwich in the middle. Looks like another yellow is going to be out on track. Could this involve possibly the number 12 of Tony Quadros? A little bit slow. Let's see if we can back it up and get another MaxSpeedTV replay. See what happened here. Actually, I think it's going to involve the 00 of Katie Haight. Oh, it looks like Chase Berry just getting loose, getting into the 38, and the 00 going around. The 07 of Bellum have nowhere to go. 90 of Tallhurst and Ed Walk also involved. There's what we're talking about. Once something happens in front of you, it kind of just gathers the whole entire field. Let's see, let's go back just a little bit farther and see if we can, a little bit farther yet. Let's go on board here with the 00 of Katie and see what she sees in front of her. Oh, the hole just kind of closed up as the 38 of Cody Levitt tried to go to the inside of Chase Berry there. Katie Hayden had nowhere to go, and she just kind of wound up hitting that left rear there of Cody Levitt, and around they went. So add a little more damage to that 38 of Levitt. Levitt is going to come down pit road. He's going to try and get as much damage as he can. He's been a pinball here early on. He's going to get that 38 out there on track still, but your leader's still going to be the 101 of David Gainforth. Gainforth now has led 12 laps here in the early going. Anthony Poston is the only other leader he's led to. Tristan Walker in third, Garrett Grant fourth, Aspen Belvin fifth, Matt Henry in sixth, Lynn McNeese still seventh, Tanner Thews there eighth, David Sabin in ninth. Bill Bessler's going to round out your top 10 as they sit right now after 14 laps, working lap number 15 here tonight. Couple early cautions, not what you want to see here from Bristol. We do know the track kind of gets wadded up. We saw that. One lead change, 136 laps to go here from Bristol. 9 caution laps, 2 cautions flown here tonight as the lights on the pace car are still on, so Once again, everybody who has tuned in over here on MaxSpeedTV, over here on the YouTube side, hit that like button if you like the OP Racing League. I know these guys appreciate every like, every follow, every view. These guys go back, they watch it, they like to see it. So go ahead and give these guys the thumbs up, as we like what we see here on track. Not the yellow flags early on here, but that will get better as the racing goes. These guys are about to calm down, work into a long green flag stint here. David Gameforth is going to be your leader once we go back. Green flag racing. Anthony Pasta still there, second place. Christian Walker, third. No lap down cars yet. Actually, I lied. Christopher Brown, who was a late entry, did have a little bit of connection issue. And Dave Hunt, who was in pit road there for a little bit longer than normal, trying to get a little damage done, trying to save that quick repair. He doesn't want to have to use it this early, but that 53 is pretty beat up. All right, pace car is going to dive in. We're going to get back green flag racing here. Let's see if these inside lap cars play a factor here on this restart. Green flags in the air. We're racing once again from Bristol. Looks like those lap cars are going to yield. We ain't going to have a battle here by the lap cars. They're just going to kind of settle on to the bottom. Gainforth gets away. Looks like Anthony Poston fired off real good this time. Gainforth to the bottom. Anthony Poston kind of working that middle lane. And Christian Walker right there behind him, not letting any of these guys get away from him. Single file through the field so far. We're going to just stay here with your leaders. And right there, you actually see the number 19 of Henry kind of looking to the inside of Aspen Belvin. Belvin now going to the outside of, well, I was about to say the number 10 there, Garrett Grant, but Garrett Grant drove that in real hard there and drove underneath the number 2 of Christian Walker. He's trying to make that inside lane work here. We haven't seen many green flag laps, so that inside lane's definitely not heated up yet, as that number 10 of Garrett Grant is going somewhere on the inside. He's now cleared the number 2 of Christian Walker. Now he's going to go after the number 28 of Anthony Poston, because Anthony Poston's running that outside. But how long can the 10 hold that bottom lane? How long can those tires last underneath the 10? That number 10 Dodge. That number 10 Dodge, though, working his way to the front. He's still side by side with Anthony Poston there for that second position. David Gainforth likes looking in his rearview mirror, though, and seeing these guys battling side by side, but he's not able to pull away that much. Just a couple car lengths, if that. Now it looks like the number 10 might have to fade just a little bit, cool those tires back off. But hey, he made up a couple positions there on that restart. He's going to slot into that number 3 position. Your top 5 as they run right now. David Gainforth, Anthony Poston, Garrett Grant, Christian Walker, Matt Henry. That rounds out your top 5. As looks like Henry came off the wall there. Now he's going to look to the inside of Christian Walker as they go into turn 1 and 2 there. It looks like we got another yellow out here on track. Could involve, oh, it's actually a big one. Forrest Sparks, you see up and over in that 7 car. The 07 of Scott Bellum also involved. Dave Hunt involved. Ed Walk involved in another one here. Let's go back on a MaxSpeedTV replay and see what we can see here. Let's see where this yellow started out at. You see Ed Walk right there in front of the 07 of Scott Bellum. Let's see what happened between these guys as they drive it down off into the corner. All is good so far. Oh, you just see Ed Walk get up into the wall. The 07 gets into him. The 38's around along with the 32 of Elmore. Then Forrest Sparks up and over on his lid. He's going to land on the tires. He's going to be able to drive away, but heavy damage on that 7 machine. As you see in that accident, Forrest Sparks was already up and over. There might have been a little bit of connection issue there with the number 7 of Forrest Sparks, but hey, let's see if we can get a word in with that man. He's driving that number 7. All is right. We got you on camera there, Forrest. Tell us what happened there with that number 7 Hooters machine.
I have no idea.
Well, Forrest, we saw you. I
have no idea what happened.
We saw you go up and over, but we didn't see actually what happened to you coming into that wreck. The only thing we saw that number 7 do is up and over. We didn't see you come into the accident. We didn't see you involved until it was way too late for you on the roof.
Yeah, all I saw was going into the corner. I saw a car come up in front of me, and I had nowhere to go because there was a car right there on my inside. So I was just into it and suddenly was flipping.
Early on here from Bristol, tell us how the track is. We have worked here now a couple cautions already in the early going. You guys got one quick repair, but that 7 looks pretty tore up.
Oh yeah, I used it on the first caution when I got involved in that one because I got hit Alex and got stuck in that tire barrier at the entrance of the backstretch pit.
Well, with you having to use that quick repair early on, what's that going to mean for the number 7 moving forward here tonight?
Try and hope that the engine isn't too damaged and I can actually make it to the end of the race and earn what points I can from attrition.
Yeah, that's going to hurt you here coming out of Bristol because you were sitting 3rd in points. You're only 106 back from the points lead. So now with both guys who are in front of you still out there on track, Cody Levitt and Tristan Walker, that's going to put you a little behind the 8 ball going into the next race. So hopefully you can get that number 7 fixed and back out there on track and gain as many points as you can here tonight.
That's the plan.
Well, you heard the disgust in the number 7's voice. He just couldn't believe it. You know, not what he wanted to see in the early going, having to use both quick repairs. Now he's going to have to sit on pit road for who knows how long until iRacing releases him and the damage is done to that 7 machine. Already 4 laps down here, and he's just going to continue to drop. Out front, though, that's going to be the number 10 of Garrett Grant. Matt Henry going to slot into 2nd place now. Lynn McNeese 3rd. Tanner Thues in 4th. Those 4 guys did not come down pit road. Everybody else did. So that's going to mean the 101 of David Gameforth starting in your 5th position is going to be the first guy on new tires. And it looks like we got the 38 of Cody Levitt. He's going to be the guy that's going to start here on the bottom, being 1 lap down right now to your leader, Garrett Grant. So let's see how the 38 fares here on this restart. But the control car going to be the number 10 of Garrett Grant. Green flags waving. We're back once again, green flag racing. Garrett Grant going to have no problems clearing that 38, but Matt Henry's going to go side by side with the lap car into turn 1. He's going to clear him, though, off turn 2. Cody Levitt looks like he's just going to let these top guys go. He's not going to battle too hard. He might be saving that quick repair on that 38 because that is pretty much tore up here. Beaten, banged all night long with that car. Garrett Grant leads the way, has a big lead over the number 19 of Matt Henry as they work off into the corner here. Everybody pretty much trying to single file it out. It looks like David Gameforth going to go to the inside. As I said, pretty much single filed out. Looks like a caution's going to wave once again here. Alex Green involved in this one. Anthony Tolhurst. Forrest Sparks. Oh, sorry, Forrest Sparks still sitting there on pit road. I thought he might have just towed real quick, but my mistake. Let's see if we go back and grab another MaxSpeedTV replay. See what happened here with the 48 of Ed Walk. Alex Green. Brent Elmore is also involved in this one. Let's see what we can see from the point of view from the spotter stand here. Ed Walk down there on that bottom lane. Looks like Alex Green right behind him. Oh, actually, it started a little bit in front of them with the number 90 of Tolhurst. Tolhurst was involved, and I believe that was the number 14 of Timothy Truebridge. Let's back it up a little bit here on this replay and see what happened between the number 90 and the number 14 as they were battling for the 14th and 15th position out there on track. 90 possibly just getting a little loose there, then ended up going around collecting a bunch of cars again. It looks like also involved, and that's going to be the 53 of Hunt. So a rough start here for pretty much everybody, but it looks like your leaders are going to still stay out here once again. Your top 4, Garrett Grant, Matt Henry, Lynn McNeese, Tanner Thues, they're all going to stay out. Let's see, maybe we can get a word in with one of the guys that were involved in this wreck. Let's see, maybe we can get a word in with the number 20 of Alex Green. Alex, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Alex, we know you didn't get much practice in that number 20 machine out there, but you put in one heck of a qualifying attempt, and now kind of being beaten and banging that Home Depot machine. Tell us what's happening out there.
I don't really think it was so much a lack of practice on that first one. Just I followed Tristan up in the wall. I was kind of mirror driving him a little bit. You know, and got sent into the field by my own doing. Second caution, just typical Bristol mess, and now we're sitting here in the back, and we just can't seem to stay away from everybody. So, thankfully, I only had 24 seconds are required. I got 3 minutes of optional, but the car is still running good. 2 laps down, just trying to keep her alive from there. Not a lot of time to get the car fixed out here.
Yeah, not a lot of time as we see that pace car actually coming right now. You're going to have to work to get off pit road ahead of it. What's going to be going forward here? Because you guys still have a long way to go, over 200 laps left here from Bristol. How are you going to maintain this car's longevity, if you will?
Just keep the tires fresh. Just hopefully keep a little bit of distance and just kind of see what happens. It's Bristol. Any race at Bristol is going to be a little bit of a race of attrition. You know, we're just hoping to still probably get a good points day. I still fully believe we got a top 10 car here.
Yeah, you think that 20 car is going to come alive once the lights come on here at Bristol?
If there's anything left of it, probably.
Well, we're hoping and we're waiting to see these lights come on and see you guys beating and bang maybe a little bit more. If sparks start to fly here at night, they're going to look pretty interesting here with this new graphics pack from iRacing. But you got one to go here, so we'll let you get back down there with your teammates, and we're hoping to see that 20 car not involved in any more accidents.
Yeah, here's hoping.
Well, there you heard it from that man in the 20 car. He's hoping that they can get that car fixed and not be involved in any more accidents. But your leader's still going to be that number 10 of Garrett Grant, Matt Henry right there, Lynn McNeese, Tanner Thews, and David Gainforth now in your 5th spot. Lights on the pace car are off. We will go back green flag racing as the 32 of Brent Elmore is going to be your first car a lap down there to the inside. The 38 of Levitt back on the lead lap. He's going to start out behind the field here. Green flag's in the air once again. Kind of a slow start there by the number 10 of Garrett Grant. Kind of held up the number 19 of Matt Henry as he couldn't go around him. And then Lynn McNeese still back here. Now Lynn McNeese is going to go side by side with that lap car. He's going to clear him. Tanner Thews is going to follow right in those footsteps. So it's kind of a battle of track position here in the early goings from Bristol. Brent Elmore looks like he might slot up right in front of David Gainforth. Gainforth's in the 5th position. He's going to be the first guy with fresh tires. He's going to dive right underneath the 32. He knows he doesn't want to be sitting behind him too long as he's got the fresh tires. He's going to put him to use here real quick. He's going to pass that number 32 as they come down the front stretch. Now it looks like the 28 of Anthony Poston is trying to make his way around. As he does, is he got a little loose there coming off turn 2, but he did clear that lap down car. And it's going to be Tristan Walker's turn. Tristan Walker actually made quick work. Everybody's making quick work now at this point towards the back of the field. Looks like Elmore knows it's not worth fighting for this time. He knows the leader is kind of checked out from him, so why risk it? Tony Quadros, though, having a good night, good showing so far. He's been pretty much clean as he started out back. A little front left damage on that Mobile 1 Chevrolet there, that number 12, as he's inside your top 10. It looks like we have a car around that. It's going to be, I think, the 37 of Christopher Brown going around. Forrest Sparks right there stopping, trying not to be involved in that one. Let's go back on another MaxSpeedTV replay and see what happened to the 37. Look over top here of the 37 as he goes down into the corner. Well, it looks like maybe a little wheel hop on that number 37 Hendrix.com car as he goes around. It's a self-spin. Nobody else involved in that. Forrest Sparks was coming out of pit road there. Christopher Brown's going to gather it up, but we're going to be under caution here once again from Bristol. At 37, he's going to come down pit road as you see right there as we're still stuck on him. Looks like that time, I believe most of your leaders did come down pit road. Actually, I lied. Note your top 4 still electing to stay out there. Top 4 on the top of the screen right there. Garrett Grant, Matt Henry, Lynn McNeese, Tanner Thews, David Gainforth. Well, let's see if maybe we can get a word in with that number 23 of Tanner Thews. Tanner Thews, you got a copy. It's Roger up in the booth. Tanner Thews, you got a copy. Roger up in the booth. Well, maybe Tanner's out there talking to his spotter or something and not being able to communicate with us here up in the booth. Maybe we'll catch him later and see if we can get another word in with him. But since we can't get a word in with Tanner Thews, let's see. Maybe we can get a word in with the guy who's out there running in the 2nd place. Matt Henry, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, finally somebody's got a copy on me. Maybe you want to talk to me here for a little bit as we're under caution. How's the track out there tonight?
It's actually feeling pretty good right now to me. I'm getting some pretty good grip and staying right up front right now.
Yeah, you got another Dodge car in front of you. Is this planned here? Is that 2 teammates out there running?
No, this just happened to be a coincidence, kind of like that last race we were running together.
Wow, coincidence. Well, up here in the booth, you guys might as well link up because it's great. You always see in those 2 Dodge cars run pretty much near each other. We saw you guys battle it out the other week at Darlington. Now here at Bristol, you're 1 and 2. Do you think this track's going to change much once the lights come on and the sun goes down?
Oh yeah, it's definitely gonna get faster. I mean, we can already feel it getting faster, and that's kind of why I've stayed out a little bit. It just keeps getting more grip, and we haven't used a lot of the tires up being under caution, so I think we're in a pretty good spot.
Yeah, it looks like track position is going to be pretty much key here as the cautions have flown early and often right now from Bristol. It looks like your top 4 have still yet to come down pit road. How far do you think you can push this number 19 on fuel and tires?
I think if we keep getting cautions, I can push it pretty far, but yeah, you know, I don't really know right now. It's hard to fill it out when you're running a lot of caution laps.
Hey, hopefully we can get some green flag run, and maybe you can work up there and go side by side with that number 10 of Garrett Grant. Good luck the rest of the way, and we hope to see you at the end.
Hey, thanks, man.
Well, Matt Henry having here a great showing here early on. He's been staying out of trouble as he's been running towards the front. But we're about to get these guys back green flag racing in just a moment. As you see that Brent Elmore is going to be that lap car once again to that inside here. Pace car's off. We're about to go back green flag racing here. 47 laps about to be in the book. Green flag's out. There's 47 in the book. Give in the book there to number 10. Garrett Grant's going to lead that lap. So now we're working lap 48 here. Green flag racing. See them working down the backstretch. Elmore not getting a good start once again, so he's just going to pretty much fall back. He falls into the 5th car in line, but that's not a position for him. We just talked to that man in the 2nd position, the number 19 of Matt Henry. Henry's pretty much just kind of riding there right now, but David Gainforth is the guy that's trying to get around the 32 of Elmore, and it looks like Anthony Poston almost going door to door with the number 32 of Elmore. Anthony Poston needs to get around him and stay in front of him, as now he does, and now it's going to be Tristan Walker's turn here in a moment. So now you got the 2 guys who did pit here a handful of laps ago. I say a handful of laps ago. That was actually 25 laps now already. That's going to be the 101 of Gainforth and the 28 of Poston. Poston now going to the outside of David Gainforth as they work into the corner, but he's going to be trapped there by Lynn McNeese on the outside. Looks like the number 19 of Matt Henry was just in the wall. Tanner Thu's going to take advantage of that, go to the inside. Here comes Lynn McNeese. Can McNeese take advantage as maybe the tires on Henry got heated up there? Lynn McNeese still trying that inside lane as, Lynn McNeese kind of slides up there. He has older tires. Anthony Poston going to go around him. Gainforth taking evasive action there. He's going to actually throw that 101 Fred Flintstone car to the apron. That's going to allow Elmore, the lap car, to get around him. And Chase Berry's looking to go around the outside also. Maybe that inside groove not as good as we thought it was, as Gainforth now dropping positions. Now it looks like Aspen Belvin also going to try and get around him on the outside, but he's going to be held by the lap car, so they're going to go side by side. Actually, right now, if you look right up here in front of these guys, side by side was the 11 of Chase Berry and the 32 of Elmore. Elmore not running up here for position, but trying to stay as close as he can. As Anthony Poston is around off the front bumper of the number 2. That's going to involve Lynn McNeese. The 101 of David Gainforth also involved. The track is blocked. It looks like Dave Saban also going to be involved. Let's see if we can back it up once again here on the MaxSpeedTV replay and see what happened to that number 28 of Anthony Poston, as it looks like he just got a little help from the number 2, but the replay will show us here what was the actual factor. Right there you saw a little bump from the number 2 letting Anthony know, hey, I'm right here, don't cut me off again. And they worked off turn 4. It looked like Poston maybe was losing the front end there on this car, kind of getting a little tight, and then right through the center of the corner, the number 2 just turns him. Lynn McNeese is there. Looks like Chase Berry also hard contact into that outside wall. A bunch of guys involved in this. David Gainforth going around. He was the guy on fresh tires trying to come through the field. Tristan Walker also involved. Bunch of damage to the Blue Deuce. Well, we just saw that yellow happen. Let's see, maybe we can get a word in with the number 2, the driver of that blue Miller Lite. Tristan Walker, you got a copy? Roger up in the booth.
Yes, sir, I do.
Well, Tristan, we don't mean to interrupt you here if you're going to be coming down pit road, but we got to ask, what happened there?
I don't know. I thought I was off his bumper. I did not mean to wreck him there. I sent out an apology to him right away. I don't know, he just got in front of me. I hit him once on the straightaway. Next thing I know, I'm turning him by accident.
Yeah, we talked about bump and runs early on in the pre-race. You know, That's something that you typically see towards the end of the race. We know it wasn't really a bump and run, but you bumped him through the corner, and that kind of just got him all out of shape. And we talked about the track being pretty much clogged once cars like that go sideways. Is that what happened there?
Man, I was just trying to get through, and Anthony just came up once lap, and you know, just next thing to next, I turned him by accident.
Well, that Blue Deuce has a lot of damage on it as you're trying to beat that pace car off pit road here. Do you still have a quick repair left in the bank here for the late goings?
Yes, sir, I do.
Well, then you're going to be able to get that Blue Deuce fitted back up for the late goings. Right now, it looks like you're just going to try and gain as many spots as you can with a crinkled up car. Tell us about the track, though. How's the racing been so far?
It's been pretty hectic. We had a 4-car battle there for a while up front, but whenever the shade comes out, the cars come alive and we run half second faster, so I really enjoy the shade.
Absolutely. We're seeing this track kind of cool down now and get a little more grip a little faster. Well, hey, good luck the rest of the way, and try to stay out of trouble the rest of the way.
Yep, I'll do my best. Thank you, guys.
There's the driver of the number 2. He didn't mean to do it. He sent out the apology real quick, as it is Bristol and things do happen. Hopefully, we won't see any bumper spins the rest of the way from the 2, as Christian Walker's not that kind of racer. You know, he's typically one of your more cleaner racers out there, but things do happen. Lights on the pace car are off, though. We're once again getting ready to go back. Green flag racing here from Bristol. Looks like 2 guys still left out there on the same tires they started the race. The 10 of Garrett Grant, your leader, and Tanner Thews there in second. Chris Brown going to be that lap car to the inside. The pace car is off once again here from Bristol, and we are green flag racing again, bringing them down nice and slow that time. Once again, Garrett Grant brings them down slow every time. He fires off, though. Now you can see the shade there going into turn 1 and 2. Tanner Thews and Garrett Grant get away, but another yellow flag going to be waving here. Might involve the number 38 of Cody Levitt. Not sure. David Hunt also right there. Let's go back on a MaxSpeedTV replay and see what happened to the 38 of Levitt. Levitt was a lap down because he was caught up in an earlier incident. Got his lap back, but still buried back in the field here. So let's see as they're still coming around turn 3 here to take the green flag. What happened? It looks like the number 14 right there is going to start in front of him, Timothy Truebridge. Dave Hunt was right behind him. Kind of a slow start there for the 38. Then it kind of came on real heavy and hard, and oh, it actually happened in front of him. Scott Bellum was the one, and Levitt had nowhere to go. Going to have to wind her back a little farther on the replay to see what happened that turned the 7 around. Or sorry, the 07 of Scott Bellum. As you see Bellum right there. Oh, Anthony Poston also involved, having a little do with it with Aspen Belvin. Back her up just a little bit. We're going to keep going until we find the reason of caution here tonight. Looks like Tony Quadros was up in front of these guys, kind of blinking in and out. And Quadros didn't go. That checked up McNeese and Anthony Poston, and then around went Scott Bellum. And Scott Bellum just the track clogging up, nowhere for Levitt or Hunt to go. I believe Gainforth might have also been involved in that as he was back there towards the back of the field. There is Gainforth, a little damage on that number 101 machine. Fred Flintstone not having the night he would like to have here. Well, let's see if we can get a word in with that driver of the 101. David Gainforth, you got a copy? It's Roger up in the booth.
Yeah, I'm here, guys.
Well, tell us what's going on there with Fred Flintstone tonight.
Well, first part was pretty good. Last 10 laps been pretty rough.
Pretty rough, as Fred's been in the back of a couple cars. It looks like somebody's been in the back hitting Dino. So tell us from your point of view what's going on.
Yeah, well, before we started that last restart, Alex missed his, I don't know what he was, I don't know, he rear-ended me anyway, be under caution. So that was the damage in the back. There's no big deal. But I just got caught up in that big wreck there, you know, and nowhere to go. Then I lost a lap trying to get the thing turned around and doing my 3-point turns, and
Well, you do need to learn your three-point turn to get your driver's license. We know that, but stock car drivers usually three-point turns do not work out for them, as you did go a lap down. But it looks like you're going to be the first car a lap down, lining up here on the front row. Are you going to battle hard here with the number 10 of Garrett Grant?
Nope, I'm just going to let them go. I know I'm the only guy a lap down now, and, you know, I'll just wait for the next caution to come out, and hopefully I'm in the lead lap, in the position to get it.
Well, I'm not going to tell you that you're also battling the number 20 of Alex Green for the first car a lap down. Shh, I didn't tell you that. Broadcaster not helping you.
Okay, 10-4, I appreciate it. Didn't hear a thing.
All right, but hey, get that Fred Flintstone machine pointed the right direction and keep it pointed the right direction.
Yeah, I'm going to do my best, guys. Thanks a lot.
There was David Gainforth in the 101 machine driving for 3 Wide Motorsports. You know, Fred Flintstone not having the day he wanted. He had a great qualifying attempt starting second, but then trying to use pitch strategy to his advantage, kind of got stuck back towards the back of the field, and, well, now he's trying to rebound. We've had 7 cautions here in the early goings, 34 laps, 184 laps to go. Here's the pace car is going to dive in once again. We're going to go back green flag racing. Garrett Grant still your leader. He's been out there for 66 laps. Tanner Thues, who's been right behind him this whole time coming through the field. Those are going to be your first 2 cars. Garrett Grant gets another great start there on that top. He's going to go down the backstretch. He's going to have about a 4 or 5 car lead over Tanner Thues, and then Tanner Thues is going to have about a 4 car length lead and put a lap car in between him and Matt Henry. Henry's going to go to the bottom trying to get around Gainforth. Gainforth gives it to him. He realizes he was there. Now it looks like David Gainforth's going to fall back. Tony Quadros is having a great night. We talked about him being in 10th here just a little bit ago. Now he's moved up into your 4th position. So watch for Tony Quadros. A little rear end damage, but he's coming through the field pretty good. Started back in your 20th position, so having a wonderful night here. We do know your top 2 drivers. We've had quite a few caution flags here to early going. But Tanner Thues and Garrett Grant out there for 70 laps. We had penciled in 70 to 80 laps here for a fuel run. So those guys, yeah, they had cautions, but how far can they push it on fuel? A little bit farther back, checking up on your points leader coming in tonight. He's been involved in a couple accidents, nowhere to go. That's been the driver of the 38, Cody Levitt, inside your top 10 right now. Rebounding pretty nicely, started 18th as not being able to put in a qualifying attempt. Now inside your top 10. A little bit farther behind him, though, that's going to be the 14 of Timothy Trowbridge. He's inside your top 10. He started 13th on the grid here. A lot of damage on that 14, but I'm sure he's saving a quick repair just like a bunch of guys. A little update also on the 00. Katie Haight not being able to put in a qualifying attempt, and with it being Bristol, not being able to go anywhere quick. Back there in the 14th position as she works her way around the number 90 of Aaron Tolhurst. She's going to pass him. That'll move her to 13th on the grid. Next victim for her is going to be the 28 of Anthony Poston and Scott Bellum in the 07 right in front of him. She's hopefully, you know, these guys have calmed down now. We've had quite a few green flag laps here. Maybe settling down, and we're going to log some laps here as Katie Haight is going to go to the inside now of the 28 of Anthony Poston, as Poston was in the wall there for a moment. But Katie Haight has nowhere to go as the 07 of Scott Bellum is in her way. Let's go back up front here and check out where your leaders. Oh, a little contact there. That's going to be Katie Haight up and over. Anthony Tolhurst is going to be involved. Aspen Belvin, it looks like the 7 there of Forrest Sparks also going to be involved. Another yellow here is going to wave at Bristol. Let's see if we can go back and see what happened there between those 2. See those 3 battling it right there. The 07, Anthony Poston right there on the outside, and then Katie Haight there on the inside with that clean, beautiful Red Bull 00 car. Looks like Anthony just kind of goes to go underneath the 07, and he just kind of loses it all on his own. Then Tolhurst comes up the track into the 00, and then a bunch of other guys, Forrest Spark, Dave Hunt in the 53 is coming in there. Guys just piling it in. Forrest Sparks not having the day that he wanted. He got back out there on track, and now he's involved in another one. Well, while we have a moment, we're going to step away. We're going to be right back. You don't want to miss a thing. Still only 77 laps here in the book of the 250 schedule here tonight. We'll be right back with you. Well, welcome back, race fans. Still here under caution. Lights on the pace car are still on. We're working our 8th caution here this evening for 37 laps. Still got 172 laps to go. We've had 5 lead changes, though, here tonight. We've seen a couple guys bounce off the wall and lose the lead right now as they sit your top 5. Matt Henry's at first. Christian Walker there in second. Dave Sabin in third. Brett Elmore, who was a couple laps down not too long ago, he's now up in your 4th position. Garrett Grant in 5th. Garrett Grant's going to be the first guy on fresh tires. Then it's going to be Tanner Thews, Tony Quadros, Dave Hunt, Cody Levitt, Anthony Poston rounds out your top 10 here from Bristol Motor Speedway. Early goings yet. Still a long way to go and a long time to get there. These guys settled in there for a little bit of a long run. 37 of Christopher Brown and Alex Green going to be lining up as your lap down cars to the inside here. Matt Henry's no stranger to being out front. Henry's been out front, although 4 laps here from Bristol. Christian Walker with a beat-up number 2 right behind him. Not too many cars clean here, but the green flag waving once again. We are back to racing from Bristol Motor Speedway. Matt Henry and Christian Walker. Dave Sabin's going to be the first guy having to battle with a lap down car. Brett Elmore not getting up to speed. That's causing a little havoc there for everybody else behind him. The 10 of Garrett Grant was in the back of him coming off turn 2. That stacked him up from 4th on back. Brett Elmore, like I said a couple laps ago, was your lap down guy. But here comes the guy that we've been talking about all night, Tony Quadros. Battling now. He's in the 7th place. He was looking under Tanner Thews there, but didn't want to take it 3 wide with Alex Green. Alex Green going to get off the track and let these guys battle it out. That 12 car is on rails tonight. He had a good practice lap in practice and then just didn't get to back it up with qualifying, starting in your 20th spot. Now inside your top 10. He was as high as, I believe, 4th there for a while. Tanner Thews, though, trying to get underneath the number 32 of Brent Elmore. As you saw, the number 10 there coming out the corner of our screen. He did work his way around Elmore, so that moves Grant now into your 4th position. But there's a battle out front here for the lead. Matt Henry has it. Christian Walker wants it as they go side by side at the start-finish line down into turn 1. Running 2 different lines. Walker has the fresher tires on the bottom, but we're just about 3 wide as Garrett Grant's now coming underneath Christian Walker. Garrett Grant goes underneath Walker as they come through the corner. They are 3 wide at the start-finish line. 3 wide, and oh no, a yellow comes out. It looks like it's going to involve, I think Sabin was involved, the car involved there going around. Let's see if we can find where, oh actually I lie, it was Dave Hunt in the 53, not Sabin. Too many Daves here in a short track, too many things happening. Let's see if we can go back, catch another MaxSpeedTV replay as we get another yellow here. Let's see what happened here with the number 53. We see Quadros right in front of them. Do you see that 3 wide battle going on up there? Hunt goes down into the corner. Still looks good. Let's see what happens as he... Oh, Quadros and Brent Elmore get involved. Get together. Quadros up and over. 38-11, your points leader trying to lock it up, just kind of get through there, but I saw Quadros going up and over. Let's wind her back just a little bit, see what actually happened there with Quadros. Quadros battling with Brett Elmore. Let's see if we can get a better camera angle here for you as we go up and over. Looks like the 12 of Quadros just comes up into Elmore. Elmore then collecting the 53 of Hunt. You see the 28 of Anthony Poston just getting around there, working his way around that whole fiasco that was going on. But Brett Elmore, who worked his way up from being a couple laps down inside your top 5. Got to bring out a yellow here. So working another yellow here from Bristol. Let's see, maybe we can get a word, and I believe Tony Quadros is out here somewhere in chat. There he is. Let's see if we can get a word in with the driver of the number 12. Tony Quadros, you got a copy. It's Roger up in the booth.
Roger, buddy. How you doing?
Well, I think I'm doing better than you are out there on track right now.
Yeah, man. You know, some of these guys, they want to run you for 5 laps side by side when they're a lot slower than you. It gets a little annoying.
Well, Tony, we were talking about how you started back there in the 20th spot after having a really good practice times out there on the boards. You slotted yourself inside the top 5 in practice, unfortunately not being able to get a qualifying attempt. So that put you back, you know, behind the 8 ball from the start of this. Tell us how you worked your way there for momentarily up inside the top 5.
Yeah, I mean, the key here is running high. I mean, you want to be against the wall going through the corner, and you pick up a ton of speed. But when you go to pass, you know, you got to get that low line going. But, yeah, I mean, running high, that's the way you pick up time.
We saw a couple early yellows here inside your first 100 laps as we're not even halfway, not even to the 100 lap mark here this evening. when a car goes sideways here and everybody scatters, it looks like it's kind of bunching up everybody, and there's no place to go out there on track. Is that pretty much what you're seeing from inside the cockpit?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of times you just got to come to a complete stop right, coming around just because of that scenario there. But yeah, you know, it's a good race. Love to give a shout. My girlfriend out in the living room listening, watching, a couple of my buddies, and LFOD Motorsports as well in Windham, New Hampshire. Absolutely. We got one last question before we let you get back down there. I believe you were in Fubar Racing, but in that chat channel anyway. You have your quick repair left? I do, and I'm saving it. I still have 8 minutes optional repairs, but I'm going to save that quick repair for at least another 100 laps.
Well, absolutely. Well, hey, keep wheeling that number 12, that Mobile 1, that Speed Pass car. Beautiful looking car out there, and happy to see it out there every week, and hopefully you can get back up inside that top 10, maybe the top 5.
Oh, I'm planning on it, Roger.
Well, Tony Quadro is now buried into the 12th position, seeing if he can work his way back up through the field. But Matt Henry's out front right now. He's going to be followed by Garrett Grant, Dave Sabin, Tanner Thews, Cody Levitt now working his way up inside your top 5 as he did not pit that last time. So let's see how these old tires are able to hold off these guys. Waiting for that pace car. Pace car is down. Matt Henry's going to bring him down here. Green flag's in the air. We are back racing once again. Very slow restarts here from Bristol, but that doesn't affect the number 19 of Henry. Henry gets a good start there along with the number 10 of Garrett Grant. Garrett Grant having about 20 fresher laps on his tires, so let's see if the number 10 of Garrett Grant can work around Matt Henry real quick, or is he going to have to just ride for a little bit, as those two have checked out. A little bit of a gap back to the number 58 of David Sabin. Tanner Thews also coming through the field. It looks like he had a great run. Let's see where Tanner Thews goes here as he goes into turn 3 and 4. Tanner Thews going to diamond the corner. He's going to come down to the inside here on the front stretch. Going to show his nose to that 58 of Sabin, who's going to have the momentum as they're side-by-side for the lead also. So looks like Tanner Thews possibly going to win out this battle. But out front here, looks like Matt Henry's running that outside lane. That's where the momentum is. But Garrett Grant there battling to the inside. That lap's going to go to the number 10 of Garrett Grant as they battle it out still. That time Henry having to lift a little bit before he got into the wall. That's going to give Garrett Grant now the lead. The 10 of Garrett Grant back to the front here from Bristol. But while Garrett Grant got around the 19, now here comes Tanner Thews. Tanner Thews also on that same lap schedule as that number 10. So Tanner Thews trying to make quick work here of that number 19, but the 19 got in the wall, and Tanner Thews just kind of backed off. Didn't want to force the issue here. And a smart play by the number 23 here just to kind of ride it out. 58 of Dave Sabin there. You see him up into the wall. The 38 of Levitt into the back of... Oh, boy, there goes the 38's around. 38 is around, but they're off the track. That's also going to collect the 101 of Gainforth. Green flag's going to stay out here. So Levitt now, who is running inside your top 10, now he's going to go outside the top 10. Now he's going to drop to, it looks like, the 12th position possibly. Also, that's going to hurt Fred Flintstone, Dave Gainforth. He's going to drop now also like a rock. He's back to actually, it looks like Cody's 11th, Dave's now 12th. And Aspen Belvin, I'm not sure what happened to Belvin. Maybe he was involved in that too. He's going to slot all the way into your 14th position. Matt Henry is still second. Tanner Thews still trying to work his way around him. As it looks like Garrett Grant has already checked out now to a 2.5 second lead over the 19 of Henry here. Garrett Grant did have the fresher tires. Another guy who, though, looking here into the field, who's having a good show right now under this green flag stent. Going to be the 14 of Timothy Trowbridge running in that 6th position. We see that 14 all beat up, but hey, he's not letting that affect him here tonight. He still has the loud pedal down and running that car as hard as he can. Alex Green rebounding pretty well. He's back on the lead lap. He's running in that 7th position right in front of the number 2 of Tristan Walker. Alex Green looks like he possibly did use a quick repair. Tristan Walker, though, still all beat up. Walker's going to get around the number 20 there of Alex Green. It looks like Green just lets that 2 go on by. He knows let's just turn some laps here, boys. Garrett Grant still your leader here. He's working up onto lap traffic already, and I think that lap traffic is going to involve that number 12 of Tony Quadros that we were talking to momentarily there under caution. So Tony Quadros got to watch out, otherwise he's going to lose a lap, and once you lose a lap here, if we stay green flag racing, they're just going to click on by real fast. The guy I'm watching right now, the 2 guys I'm watching, that's going to be the 19 of Matt Henry, though, and Dave Sabin. As I look at timing and scoring real quick that you guys can't see here on screen is, oh, I think Quadros just grenaded the motor. Quadro's trying to bring it down. Oh, no. Quadro's found that inside retaining wall there. No yellow is going to be brought out, so he's going to have to tow. Let's go back on a MaxSpeedTV replay as we're still under green here. See if we can see what happened to that number 12 of Quadro's. We just talked to him. He was going to try and get that number 12 car back up front. Works down into the corner, and let's see what happens. Does he just over-rev the car, or is there just that much damage on the front end of this number 12? As you see, not this corner. It's going to be the next one, I believe, because there's the back. Right there, the motor on the 12 goes. He clutches it, tries to get it down off the track, misses the commitment cone, and parks it right against the retaining wall. So the number 12 of Quadro is going to be out of the race, but it looks like Garrett Grant still leading the way. Garrett Grant and that number 10 Dodge machine out front leading here for this is going to be his 66th lap led here this evening. Tanner Thews right here in the 23. He's going to slot into second. Anthony Poston up to third now with that beat up number 28 Haviland machine. He's out there still battling. That car's been up and over, and it's still on all four wheels driving it. David Saban in that 58, that Mountain Dew machine, started 21st, up to fourth right now. Matt Henry starting to fade on those older tires, 54 laps on those tires. Then going to be your sixth place, going to be the two of Tristan Walker. Timothy Truebridge back here in seventh now. Scott Bellum's going to be in the eighth position. Alex Green out here inside ninth. And rounding out your top 10 is going to be that really heavily damaged 38 machine of Cody Levitt. David Gainforth going to be 11th place right there in the Fred Flintstone car. Right behind them is going to be Lynn McNeese in the 184 in 12th. Aspen Belvin's going to be in 13th right there in that 84 car. Right there, he's pretty beat up too. Dave Hunt is going to be a little bit farther back. He just went one lap down in 14th, so he's going to be your first car a lap down. Out front, Garrett Grant, though, setting the pace now. A 3-second lead over the 23 of Tanner Thews, as now these guys have worked in here and getting some green flag laps put on the board. The number 10 of Garrett Grant, though, is going to have to... Oh, we see trouble in front of your leader here going down into turn one off the front stretch. Levitt's going to be involved. I think David Gainforth also involved. Let's see. Maybe we can go back and see what happened here. The 90 of Aaron Tolhurst also involved. Let's go back and see. Those guys were all running right there for about your 9th, 10th, and 11th position on the track here. That's going to bring another caution flag out as Gainforth is looking to the inside of that 38, that orange car, that Levitt machine. As they work down inside the corner, let's see what happened. Actually, I think this is going to happen a little bit in front of them as Aaron Tolhurst is up here. He was involved in this. Let's see what we see here. Alex Green's right in front of Tolhurst, and we talked about that early on in the pre-race. If somebody gets into that outside wall, if you're following and know where to go, as Alex Green hit the wall, Tolhurst had nowhere to go, and that collects Levitt along with David Gainforth. As it looks like Garrett Grant, your leader, he's going to be bringing these guys down pit road. Garrett Grant down pit road, Tanner Thews down pit road. I think Anthony Poston, though, is he possibly staying out? Nope, Anthony Poston, I lie. Anthony Poston is also down pit road. Anthony Poston has that first pit stall. But there is a couple guys that are going to elect to stay out here. The 2 of Tristan Walker is going to stay out. The number 14 of Timothy Truebridge. The 07 of Scott Bellum also staying out. Those guys all have 30 laps on their tire run here, so they think track position is the way to go. Let's see, maybe we can get a word in with one of those guys that elected to stay out here. Scott Bellum, you got a copy? Roger, up in the booth.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, Scott, you were staying out there, but now we actually see you bringing that 07 down pit road. What's the strategy here?
I gotta take a little bit of some repair time here, so I want to make sure I'm as close to the pace car as possible.
I got you. So you're gonna bring that Zippo, that Camel car down pit road and get some damage. You still actually have your fast repair left for that car?
No, I don't. I got hung up on that one restart and got spun around and had to use it there.
So the 07 of Scott Bellum, all out of quick repairs. Tell us how the track is out there tonight, though. We heard a lot of drivers saying since the lights came on and the sun went down that it's been getting faster.
Yeah, I actually like my car on the longer runs. I'm naturally a dirt track guy, so I like the looser car.
A dirt track guy out here running the K&N car. Pretty interesting fact. How can you relate the asphalt to the dirt here? Do these cars even compare at all?
They don't really compare too good, but I do actually like feeling the car a little bit more loose.
Well, hopefully you can get this camel car back up front here, the 07 machine. I'm sure Jimmy Spencer would like to see it have a good finish here from Bristol, because Jimmy was always quick here at Bristol, and, well, we saw you battling it out there. You got a quick car yourself, so maybe you can get it back up front.
Yeah, we'll give it a shot here. I'm actually from the same town as Jimmy Spencer.
Well, isn't that a fun fact? Scott Bellum being from the same town as Jimmy Spencer and running one of Jimmy's old paint schemes. Well, Scott, good luck the rest of the way.
All right, thank you.
Well, there's your fun fact for the night, ladies and gentlemen. Scott Bellum, driver of that 07, the Camel machine, being from the same town as Jimmy Spencer. Gonna have to keep an eye on that 07 of Scott Bellum, see if he can catch up to that driver who's up front. That's gonna be the 23 of Tanner Thews. Tanner Thews has been out front now for, he only took over actually the lead 2 laps ago under yellow here, but he's been a contender. He's been out front inside your top 5 all night, and that 23 Good Wrench machine looking pretty clean along with that number 10 there, Garrett Grant. So let's see what happens here once we go back green flag racing, because Quadros, we know Quadros is fast in that 12 machine, and he's going to gun right there with the 23. So now it looks like that number 12 is going to get his lap back for the time being, but can he stay out in front of the 23 of Tanner Thews? As they work down into turn 3, it looks like Tanner wheeled him in there just a little bit, then he let him go. He knows he doesn't have to battle him that hard for position, because the next guy that's behind him, the number 10 of Garrett Grant, is the guy he's got to worry about. Garrett Grant, then Anthony Poston, then Dave Saban, Matt Henry. That's your top 5 as they run right now. Tanner Thews just trying to get out of Dodge, get away from these guys, but the guy with the quick car, that's going to be the 12 car. He is pulling away now from your leader. The question is, will he be able to stay out in front? As every turn it changes. One turn, Quadros pulls out a little bit farther from Thews, then Thews kind of pulls him back in. Sorry about that. Like I said, a little under the weather here, but we're still here battling it out with these guys from Bristol. Hope everybody that's tuning in is having a fun time out there on the YouTube side. There's your top guys battling right there. Tanner Thews, Garrett Grant, Anthony Poston. Then you got to go back here to the number 19 of Matt Henry, battling it out with the 184 Lynn McNeese. They went side by side for a little, as McNeese has that, he's diamonding the corner, if you will, kind of trying to get that run. Oh, as he slides down into turn 1, but he's trying that odd line to get around the number 19. He's probably going to have to back her down for a couple laps here as he slid around that corner. Probably heated up those tires just a little bit. Let's see if he can make a run here on that number 19 of Matt Henry once again, because he's got Christian Walker nipping on his heels now too. Christian Walker just about got to the back bumper of the 184 of Lynn McNeese. Lynn McNeese looking to the inside once again of Henry as they work down the front stretch, down into 1 and 2. Again, the 184 sideways, got a little bump there as he's going to slide down pit road. I think he might possibly be speeding. He's going to spin it out on pit road. He's going to come to a complete stop. He's going to back it up, and he's going to get it going. Hopefully he doesn't have a speeding penalty, because here comes the leaders. Tanner Thews is going to put the 184 Lynn McNeese a lap down. But look out front, in front of Tanner Thews. That's going to be Tony Quadros. Quadros is running for his life right now. Quadros knows he has a good car. He just had to get his lap back. Right now, Quadros is the last car on the lead lap. Right out in front of your leader. Being able to hold off that 23 of Tanner Thews. Garrett Grant right there, second place. Anthony Poston starting to fade just a little bit here on the longer run. Kind of backing up the corners, trying to save what's left of that 28 machine, because that thing is all tore up. You're going to find that one in Dale Jr.'s graveyard after this race, that's for sure. Dave Saban, though, right there, a couple car lengths back behind that 28 of Anthony Poston. That car also pretty well used up. Matt Henry, though, back here still battling with Christian Walker. Walker now looking to the inside. He saw what Lynn McNeese was doing there a couple laps ago. Now he's trying to use that, but trying not to get that blue deuce all out of shape, as looks like Aspen Belvin also right here Walker's going to clear the 19 of Henry. Now Belvin to the inside as Walker threw a block on the 19 going down into the corner there. That was while they went into turn 1 and 2. Coming off turn 1 and 2, Aspen Belvin not going to have the momentum there to try and get side by side with that 19 of Henry. So he's going to have to cool it down. Now he's going to look off turn 4 back to the inside as they go into turn 1. As it looks like we have another yellow out on track. Let's see, it might involve, oh no, the number 12 of Quadro's around, and that's going to take your leader along with it. Let's see if we can go back on another one of these MaxSpeedTV replays and see what happened between the number 12. He was running for his life, trying to stay on the lead lap. Let's see, is he's still out in front, working down into turns 3 and 4 here. What happens when they come off? Turn 4 seems to be the problem child, as he makes it through turn 4 there, doesn't get into that wall, but as he goes into turn 1, he's up against the wall, tries to turn down, but right there was your leader. Your leader was trying to turn underneath the 12 machine to get around him, and unfortunately he's going to collect Tanner Thews, and Tanner Thews, I'm sure, not very happy about that one. As Tanner was your leader, just had nowhere to go. Let's go on board with the 23 and see what he saw. Right there, you see Quadro's up into the wall. He's turning as hard as he can. Quadro's just a little bit sideways once he came off the wall, and around that 23 went. I'm sure the 23 of Tanner Thews unhappy. Tanner Thews, unfortunately, we can't get a word in with him. I did get word that his mic is maybe a little messed up right now. So Tanner Thews, who was your leader, though, going to slot that 23 machine into, it looks like, 6th place. He just coming out of pit road now. He went down and got fresh tires. 2 guys, though, electing to stay out here under this yellow. That's going to be the number 53 of Dave Hunt and the 38 of Levitt. As I could be wrong, because here comes Levitt now to pit road. I think he might have been trying to stay out there to lead a lap, and that didn't work out for him. So he's going to bring that 38 machine down pit road and get some attention done to it. Well, let's see if we can get a word in with a couple of these guys as we're under yellow once again. Bill Bessler, I see him out there. He's off track right now. I think he was wrapped up in a couple of these early on cautions and then unable to rebound, not get back out on there on track. Bill, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Roger.
Well, Bill, what happened with that 25 machine? I see you're slotted in the 20th position, 54 laps down.
Yeah, I got wrapped up in the first caution there. I had to use my quick repair because the front end was totally demolished. And then I think we were coming out of 2 and just got a little loose and tried to correct it, and all of a sudden she snapped back into the wall and was able to keep it out of everyone, but it ruined the right front. I had no steering, so that's the end of my night. I hate it because I painted the car for David Cater. He's a long time sim racer. One of my greatest victories was beating him in a late model, and he was always a great guy. Even if he was the fastest in practice, he'd give you advice to help you go faster.
Absolutely. The sim racing community did lose a good one there. I mean, that's pretty much what iRacing is about. The whole sim community in general is meeting those people that are willing to help others get better. And that's actually what this OP Racing League does also, is you guys come out here week in and week out. But it's just not about going head-to-head on the track. It's about learning each other and learning how to drive and just improving all around. As we see that week in and week out with pretty much everybody across the board.
Oh yeah, you can see it, from the first week up until now. I mean, that's Bristol, so you're gonna have cautions. But like last night, running at Rockingham, I think we went 130 laps without a caution. So everyone is learning how each other races, and it's a fun group. And with Imperial Motorsports helping those guys out, and they help me out, so it's a really good league.
Absolutely. As we're about to get green flag racing. Bill, maybe hang around. Maybe if we get another yellow, I'll talk to you again. But green flag is out here. We're racing once again. Dave Hunt's going to be the control car as they head down into turn number 1. That 53 machine there, that Wrangler car, looking car, all tore up. But Garrett Grant's going to make quick work of him. He's going to go right around him. Now Anthony Poston's going to be the guy that's next in line to possibly get around the 53. It looks like Anthony Poston's going to go right to the inside and drive around him. Both those cars, though, pretty well beat up as they go down into the corner once again. There you see it. Those new tires of Anthony Poston in the 28 are going to work out for him. He's going to go right around him. Now Tristan Walker's the next guy as Tristan Walker goes around him, but it looks like Dave Hunt was possibly in the wall there a little bit. Now Tristan Walker, though, going to set his eyes forward. He's going to set him to the back bumper of that 28 Haviland machine. But, oh no, Dave. Oh. So much going on. It looks like Dave Saban was around there, or not Saban. But Dave Hunt was around, and it's going to collect Matt Henry, Alex Green, Tanner Thu's also going to be involved. I think Bellum was involved, Henry, Quadros. The only one that looks like might have got stopped in time was going to be that 101 of David Gainforth. Well, let's go back on a MaxSpeedTV replay once again here. Cautions flying often, early and often here. Let's go above here from the chopper cam above that number 53 of Dave Hunt and see just what happened here. As he's battling with that number 19 of Henry and Tanner Thu's to the inside. Henry really on the back bumper of that 53 as they come out of the corner. Maybe just a little slight contact with the 53 there of David Hunt. That's going to turn around Henry, Bellum, Alex Green's involved. You see Lynn McNeese going to the inside. He's going to get around David Gainforth coming to a stop back here. He's going to keep that Fred Flintstone machine clean as it looks like he's used a quick repair and just trying to Fred Flintstone his way back around everybody and get back to the front. As he is 4 laps down himself. Only a handful of guys left on the lead lap here. Just another unfortunate caution here from Bristol. Only 145 laps in the books here out of the 250 scheduled distance. Well, Bill, you're still up here in the booth. Did you catch a quick glance of that replay?
Yeah, it kind of looked like the 19 just had a run and got into the 53, and the 53 was just a little bit slower. And the bad thing about Bristol is when you're running the outside, you have all the momentum, and the second you let off, I mean, you're going to be letting a bunch of guys go on by you. So it's just, I think it's just one of those racing deals.
Yeah, one of those racing deals it is, and we know it's Bristol, and there's not much room out there, and we did see quite a bunch of give and take. It's just when somebody gets into the wall or something, it's going to check them up, and you see what can happen. One guy gets into somebody, he goes sideways, and it's just going to clog the whole track. But, Bill, we were just talking before we went back green flag racing about the world of iRacing. Somebody actually, it's funny that we're talking about iRacing. Somebody out there in chat just asked if this was NASCAR 2003 or is this iRacing. This is iRacing. Bill, did you play NASCAR 03?
I was a NASCAR Dirt Daytona guy, and oh God, how many hours I played on that, I can't even imagine. And then obviously iRacing came along, and I signed up in 08, August of 08, so been on it for about 10 years.
As you say, you came over in 08. I believe the unfortunate sim racer that we had lost also joined right around that time. Have you guys, how long did you guys actually race together?
We raced together. I mean, we were back in the days of where I think the late model was the highest stock car, and you couldn't even have custom paints. You had to use the iRacing paints, and I don't even think they had sponsors on the cars.
Well, iRacing has come a long way as we got, you know, we see our leader out here, Garrett Grant, has, you know, Dodge dealers on his car. Right behind him, Anthony Poston with the Haviline machine, and Tristan Walker, who's going to slot third right now. He's got that Miller Light Blue Deuce. We're about to go back green flag racing here again. 148 laps we're working right here. We're going to go back green flag racing on lap 149. So we still got a long way to go. We're just going to check the caution counter here real quick. 12 cautions so far tonight, 56 laps under caution, 103 to go. So the laps are winding down, 13 lead changes. Well, let's see now these guys. It looks like your top 6, everybody from Grant to Matt Henry, are going to be on your same tire cycle. And Dave Hunt, Cody Levitt, Scott Bellum, Tanner Thu's rounds out your top 10. Those guys all on fresh tires. Pace car is going to duck in once again here. We're going to be back green flag racing. Garrett Grant brings them down real nice and slow like always. I'm not sure if Garrett Grant just missed a shift there, but there went David Gainforth. Gainforth is going to be in front of him for now, but here comes the number 10. He found the gear. He kicked it into high gear. He's going to power underneath the 101 going down into turn number 3. Looks like Gainforth's going to give it to him, but now side by side is going to be the 28 of Anthony Poston in the 101. Tristan Walker looked for a moment like he was going to make it 3 wide. He decided not to. They both get around him. Now it's going to be, looks like the 84 of Aspen Belvin's going to be trying to get around that lap car, the 101 of Gainforth. 150 laps in the book, working 151 right now. Your battle is back here for that 4th position. That's going to be between the 84 of Belvin, the 58 of Sabin, and right behind them, not far behind, is going to be the points leader, 38 of Levitt. As right now, that battle's going to fizzle out as they go single file. Aspen Belvin's going to take the position, keep the position. Dave Sabin's going to slot back into 5th. Cody Levitt trying to get around Gainforth right now, back here, and see if he can set his sights on that 58 of David Sabin, as he's going to work to the outside there of David Gainforth. Gainforth's going to move over and let that orange number 38 go by him. He knows who he's racing. He knows he's racing the points leader. And he doesn't want to be the guy that takes him out, and Game Force not that kind of racer. We're talking about racing, you know, how these guys meet each other in iRacing up here with Bill Bessler, and that's one of those things that we were just talking about, common courtesy also out there on track. You just saw it as the 38 now is going to go to the inside of that 58 of Saban. Saban kind of getting loose there, or maybe just a little tight, almost all up into the wall there coming off turn 4. Levitt did use his quick repair. That 38 orange car is all beautiful. You wouldn't guess that car's been out here running 155 laps at Bristol. He's still to the inside of Saban, just not able to clear him just yet. That time out of turn 4, a little bit closer. Looks like maybe this time off turn 2, he's going to be clearing that 58. He does. He's going to slide up there in line. Now he's going to go to the inside. Another caution is out. Let's see maybe who's going to be involved in this. Is Tony Quadros going to be involved in this one? I'm not sure. Possibly. Let's see if we can grab another MaxSpeedTV replay here. We're not sure if it's going to be Tony Quadros, but we're going to select him first. Let's see. Maybe we can work our way back from there. As you see, a little network connection issue. We were following the 12. There he comes back onto the track, going into turn number 3 there. Oh, it looks like Lynn McNeese was around. Let's see if I can find Lynn McNeese. Lynn McNeese just looks like a solo spin. We're going to back her up just a little bit farther. Lynn McNeese was battling with that number 19 of Henry there. Henry running the outside. Lynn McNeese going into the corner. Looks like he gets a little wheel hop, and around that 184 goes. Just kind of spins it out onto the apron. See a little network loss there, but once he comes back, he's slid up on the track, and that's what's going to bring the yellow out here. Not what Lynn McNeese wanted to do, is he was inside the top 10, still going to be inside the top 10, but yellow's going to fly once again here. Well, let's...
Yeah, Roger.
Go ahead,
well,
Bill.
once you get down on the inside there, it really wants to unload the car, so it's pretty easy to spin on your own if you're running the inside.
Yeah, we've seen quite a few guys. Lynn McNeese actually a couple times sideways going into the corners as he's been able to hold on to her, all except for that one time right there. So he's going to actually bring that 184 machine down, as he's probably got flat spotted tires on that car. He'll bring her down. He'll get the attention of the crew, and he'll get back out there racing. Lynn's one of those guys, he'll never say die. He'll never give up. But while we're talking about that, let's see, maybe we can get a word in with the 184 Lynn McNeese. Lynn, you got a copy. It's Bill and Roger up here in the booth.
Hey, I got a copy for what it's worth.
Well, Lynn, tell us what happened there. You get a little wheel hop in that car?
Yeah, I think I got too much rear brake and I can't get it out of the car. And I go on the bottom too low down there, and if I start hitting the brake, it just spins it around.
Has the inside lane come in at all here tonight on Bristol once the lights came on?
Yeah, the outside is good, I feel like, on mine, but if I go to the bottom, that's about the second or third time I went to the bottom and hit the brakes to keep from running over the guy on the outside. It just spins it around.
Are you able to actually run the bottom? I mean, I know you say you're having a little rear brake issues with the car coming around on you. We actually watched you a little while ago trying to make the bottom work, but can the bottom work?
I think there's a few of them out here that can make the bottom work. I think, like I said, my rear brake issue or whatnot is not allowing me to run the bottom like I want to. But I've watched a few of these guys getting around the bottom pretty quick.
Yeah, so you spun that 184 machine out. Didn't create any damage to it. That car looks pretty clean. Have you had to use a quick repair already here tonight?
Well, yeah, I wasn't trying to use a quick repair, and the crazy driver went down the wrong lane there, pit lane, and when it went down the wrong pit lane, it took my quick repair away.
Well, just so you know, you are pitted on the front stretch.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's what I said. We'll blame the driver.
You never know. I'll just help you out here. I'm the guy in the booth, but hey, you're on the front stretch.
I know. Speaking of that, see, I told y'all the other week about this Smoky Mountain moonshine, and I think that's what the issue might be.
Well, we're still waiting for you to ship some of that up here, but I know you're going back Green Flag Racing, so I'll get you back down there to, I believe you were in 3 Wide Motorsports, and keep that 84 car pointed in the right direction this time.
Hey, we'll try our best. Appreciate it.
As that was the driver of the 184, as we are actually Green Flag Racing. We're a little bit behind here from that interview. But looks like Garrett Grant's going to be your leader here on the restart. He's going to clear Tony Quadros. That's on the inside. Tony's car is all tore up now. Looks like Anthony Poston's going to slot into your second position. He's under fire, though. Looks like the number 2, attrition Walker, was going to look to the inside and then just kind of lost the momentum coming off turn 4. And now he's going to be under fire by his buddy there, number 84, Aspen Belvin, in the handlebar mustache man. Everybody pretty much taking it easy here on this restart. Tony Quadros did give way to the leaders and kind of fell back. Tony Quadros fell back behind the number 23 there of Tanner Thues, and now Matt Henry's going to go around him on the inside also. So Tanner Thues, though, looking to the inside of the 58 there of Saban. Saban staying to the outside. Saban still out there on 29-lap-old tires, and Tanner Thues on 20-lap-old tires. So those newer tires there by the 23 really showing who has the grip as he motored around him on the inside lane. Looks like Aspen Belvin in the 84 was just up in the wall coming off turn 4. That allowed Levitt to get around him, and Levitt now looking to the inside of the 2 there of Tristan Walker. Cody Levitt is the guy farthest up on your running order right now with the freshest tires. As he's coming through the field, started 18th, was actually 2 laps down at one point, but now he's got that 38 machine pointed in the right direction, going towards the front. Not able to make the bottom work to get around Tristan Walker, but he's still side by side with him. He's gonna try and give all he had, the little engine that could.
Yeah, Roger, those fresh tires, I mean, when you get fresh tires at a place like this, it is night and day. It's so welcoming to have fresh rubber. The problem is you want to, run as fast as you can, and then you burn them off. So you got to, in the back of your mind, remember, hey, take it easy a little bit.
And that's possibly, oh no, that's where I was about this talk. It looks like we got another yellow out on track. Not sure. Possibly gonna involve the man we just spoke with. The 184 of Lynn McNeese has a bunch of rear end damage. Did we give him the broadcaster curse by talking to him here in the booth? And now he's got damage on that car. And we know he does not have a quick repair, so let's go back here on that MaxSpeedTV replay and see what happened. He was battling here with David Hunt. You see Dave Hunt there with a bunch of damage there, as he doesn't even have a rear end left in that number 53. It looks like, once again, a little wheel hop there by Lynn McNeese, and that's just going to turn that 184 around.
Yeah, it's be easy to do here to lose it on your own.
So Lynn McNeese not having the night that he wanted himself. Bill, tell us about it. We heard from Lynn saying that maybe he has a little bit too much rear brake dialed in that car. How does that really affect a driver out there when they go to the inside lane?
Well, when you go into the corner there, it's almost like you're going down into a hole. So the car gets real light as you're turning in. If you're not careful and you got too much rear brake bias, the car will get light, and your rear tires will brake harder than the front, and it'll want to snap around on you. The same thing coming out of the corner. It's almost like you're coming out of a hole, and the car's getting real light as it gets onto the flat of the straightaway. So it's a tricky track. I'm a dirt track guy, kind of like Scott said, so throttle control on old tires is absolutely key. Same with like a place like at Atlanta.
Atlanta is actually one of the more fun tracks to drive here because it actually takes a lot of car control, a lot of throttle control. A lot of times you're actually driving with the rear end of that car and, trying to maybe pack a little air once you come off the corner to keep that car pointed in the right direction. I love slipping and sliding at Hot Atlanta. That's one of my favorite tracks.
Oh yeah, same here. I mean, quite a few of the guys were complaining about how loose the cars were, but I was, running dirt late models on the service, and I was like, man, can we race here every week because it's a lot of fun.
Now, would you rather run at Hot Atlanta or Darlington?
Oh, Atlanta. Hands down, Atlanta. Although the new iRacing setup they have for Darlington's pretty good for the K&N car.
Well, I actually haven't got to run Darlington with these K&N cars in a very long time from being up here in the booth. I know the other week when you guys ran there, it looked like quite a bit of fun. I wish I would have been out there, but unfortunately up here just talking about what you guys are out there doing on track. I say unfortunately, but I actually really like being up here in the booth, especially watching you guys on Friday night. You put on one heck of a show. I know I actually did battle with you out there in the preseason. We were over at Phoenix having one great battle, and that's another one of those older tracks that have the track surface that you really have to fight with the car to get it around.
Oh yeah, you can tell why the real NASCAR Cup drivers, the older surfaces, they're like, please don't pave this place, because a track like that's got character. You can drive the car. It's not just hammer down all the way around. You actually have to drive it. And I think that's why guys like Jeff Gordon and Tony Stewart are so good. We're so good at places like that because they had such spectacular car control.
Absolutely. Well, here before we go racing here once again from Bristol. Looks like Garrett Grant's going to be your leader here again. He stayed out 37 laps on his tires. Anthony Poston in the 28, still up there inside your top 3. He's got 38 laps on his tires. Tanner Thues Welcome back inside your top 5. 29 laps on his tires. Everybody else came down pit road on this last pit stop under the yellow. But pace car is going to dive in here. We're about to get back green flag racing. Green flag's in the air. Garrett Grant's going to get another great start. He's going to clear that lap car of Aaron Tolhurst to the inside. Tony Quadro is also down there. Tolhurst is just going to pull off the racing surface, let all these guys go by. So that's going to allow, it looks like your top 6, 7 guys are going to clear your lap down cars. Right now, your battle, though, that's going to be Tanner Thues looking to the inside of the number 28 of Anthony Poston as they work down into turn 1 once again. Looks like Tanner Thues had to back up the corner way much there as he's a little sideways coming off turn 2. That's going to let Christian Walker in the blue deuce come around him. Now Walker's going to go to third, and Walker's going to look to the inside now. Oh, we got another yellow out. Looks like a big one out the back there. Possibly Lynn McNeese also involved, David Hunt, Dave Gainford, Tony Quadros, and unfortunately Forrest Sparks, who was involved in one of those first yellows and then having his quick repair taken away from him also. Let's see, let's take another MaxSpeedTV replay, go back on this one. Let's go from the blimp here and see what happened as we're on board here watching, looks like Tony Quadros and Lynn McNeese. That's correct. Lynn McNeese goes underneath the 12 of Quadros, and let's see what happens between those two. Lynn McNeese once again to the inside, and with that brake issue, sliding right up, collecting the 12, collecting also, I believe that was the 19 there of Matt Henry. See Alex Green just barely sneaking through. The 07 of Scott Bellum's going to be involved. The 101 of David Gainforth. Tony Quadros being the very unlucky recipient of that as he had nowhere to go. He was the outside car there, and McNeese just lost her going in once again with the rear end.
Yeah, when you have multiple spins like this on a night like the number 12 has, you know, and it's really kind of no fault of your own. I mean, it makes you want to hang up the wheel, but you sit there for about 5 minutes and it's like, yeah, I can't wait for next week.
Yeah, absolutely. We bet the 184 Lynn McNeese. We know he's not the driver that's out here to intentionally, definitely not spin out himself. We know that. But he's going to be hanging his head, and he's going to definitely be looking forward to next week's race. It's just a hard-fought battle here with Bristol, and he's just not winning it out.
No, and it's, you know, with his condition, with too much rear brake bias, I mean, that's a handful. And then when it does get loose, and then all of a sudden it grabs again, I mean, you're looking right at the wall. So it's a tough place, and, you know, loose, if you're not ready for it, I mean, it'll bite you.
Definitely going to bite you. Well, while we're under caution here, let's take another look here at our caution counter. 15 cautions here tonight, 70 laps under caution, 71 laps to go, 13 lead changes. So it actually hasn't been that boring of a race. It just hasn't had long green flag stints here.
That's been pretty good. I just wonder if anyone's got anything for that 10 car, because it seems like he pulls away and he can stay there. So it'll be interesting going forward if anyone's got anything for him.
I think the next quickest car on the grid, we know Anthony Poston's been pretty much running in second place, but we haven't really had long green flag runs. We know Tristan Walker's been inside your top 5. Both those cars that really tore up. You got to kind of look back here at your 4th place runner and possibly your 5th place runner. That's going to be Tanner Thues in the 23, that white car there, and the orange car of Cody Levitt. Those two cars are pretty much your cleanest cars on the track, along with that number 10 there of Garrett Grant. Everybody else, I think they've been pretty much out of demo derby. Those 3 cars are the cleanest. I think maybe the cleaner cars here tonight will prevail once we get a good green flag run. I actually think if we go green from here to the end, the man that's looking real good, I said if, that would be the 38 of Cody Levitt, as he's pitted 11 laps ago. Our pit counter says you can go about 70 to 80 laps here on a tank of fuel. So if we go green to the end, look for that 38 if he can keep it out of the wall to be in the catbird seat, because Garrett Grant, Anthony Poston, Tristan Walker, they will have to pit along with Tanner Thues. Pace car's going to dive in once again here. We're about to wind these cars up. Green flag's in the air. We're back green flag racing here from Bristol. Looks once again that number 10, Garrett Grant, gets a great start. This time Anthony Poston's, he's going to get one heck of a start along with it. Gainforth not going to battle here with your leaders. He's going to back off. Looks like going down into turn 3 and 4, though the 10 of Garrett Grant's going to have about a car length and a half over that 80 or that 28 of Anthony Poston. Tristan Walker then a little farther back, but there's a battle there right for your 4th spot. Levitt going to drive right underneath Tanner Thues. He's going to take over that 4th position. Your points leader now up into 4th. Looks like something might be wrong with the 23 there of Tanner Thues. Tanner Thues started there in your 4th position and now just headed backwards, now slotted all the way back into the 7th position, right behind or Aspen Belvin. I'm getting all my names confused. Everything's happening so fast here from Bristol.
Yeah, you got to be an auctioneer to call a race here, huh, Roger?
Pretty much. It's right there. You saw that 23 Tanner Thews did work his way back around the 84 of Aspen Belvin, so he's going to retain now 6th position. As you see, the 58 of Dave Sabin was in the wall there, but Cody Levitt still on the loud pedal, still making that inside work. He's now going to the inside there of the number 2, Tristan Walker. He's looking for 3rd place. Tristan Walker kind of being boxed in on that outside, nowhere to go for him, and the number 2 machine is Anthony Poston is running that outside. Oh, Tristan Walker spinning, gonna collect. It looks like Aspen Belvin, Dave Hunt also involved. Christopher Brown's gonna come stop there before he makes contact with the number 2. Nowhere for him to go as he's kind of stuck on the banking now, so that's actually gonna possibly put those guys a lap down as the pace car has come out now. Let's go back on another MaxSpeedTV replay, see what happened with that number 2 as he was inside the top 5 as Cody Levitt had just got around him.
Yeah, I bet you that 38's probably happy you got by him.
Yeah, the 38 of Levitt just went to the inside there. It looks like off turn 4, got a little loose, went to correct it, over-corrected, came back up on the track, got into Aspen Belvin. Dave Hunt coming by, slamming him pretty hard. Christopher Brown in the 37 actually coming to a complete stop and then getting locked in with the number 2 on the banking, and he actually had to back it up. You see him, both them drivers working the wheel to get free from each other. So unfortunately,
yeah.
Tristan Walker, who's going to go from inside your top 5 with a bunch of damage now down pit road, he's going to have to bring that blue deuce to the attention of the pit crew.
Yeah, that's so easy to do when you come off corner like that and it gets loose. I mean, you're almost along just for the ride when it gets loose like that.
Well, let's hear what happened from the man himself. Tristan Walker, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, Tristan, tell me what happened there, buddy.
Man, I lost it out of 4. I was getting loose. So I went ahead and got my fast repair.
Yeah, that blue deuce now looks clean and crisp, just like that Miller Lite if you were drinking it. But tell us about the racing out there. We do see now you use your quick repair as you got 60 laps here left. Are you gonna ride it out in the back here? Because you are. Well, I thought you were inside the top 10 in points. I guess you're a little bit farther back here, actually, aren't you?
Oh, right now it says I'm 9th. I'm in the 8th, 9th place right now.
On track, that's correct. You're gonna be slotted in 7th, I believe. Timing and scoring is gonna slot you. But not having a points night, though, like you would want, as now you're going to be back a little farther than you've been all night.
Yeah, I just know if I can get up there, I can probably compete for the win, but I had a damaged car hindering me, so let's see if I can do anything now.
Do you think starting back here, and I'm going to say the Hornets nest, if you will, is going to hamper your progress here going forward the rest of the way?
I hope not. Just try to follow the people in front of me. People go low, try to follow the high side.
Yeah, we saw you running the high side, and we saw that 38 of Levitt kind of working that inside groove. Is possibly the inside coming in a little bit here?
Yeah, I noticed it was doing better as it got darker. So, there's a little grip there. Cody's been using it really well.
Well, that's the guy you're battling in points, and he's out ahead of you, so you're going to have to kind of tighten your belts a little tight here, maybe pop another top on a Miller Lite and go towards the front here. You're going to need to catch him.
Yes, sir. I'll be trying to head towards the front.
Well, with no quick repair, that driver of the number 2, he's going to have to kind of play it smart the rest of the way. Well, lights on the pace car off once again here from Bristol. Your top 5 as they sit. Matt Henry, Garrett Grant, Anthony Poston, Cody Levitt, Tanner Thew is going to round out your top 5 there. It looks like to your inside, that's going to be David Gainforth once again and Christopher Brown. Both those guys a lap down. They're going to be joined there soon by the 12 of Quadros, Forrest Sparks, Anthony Tolhurst, and Timothy Trowbridge also are your lap down cars. They're probably going to be working their way up. See the pace car is going to dive in, though. Matt Henry's going to get back to the loud pedal here. The green flag's racing once again. Those lap cars just getting out of the way. That's real early on. You see the number 10 there of Garrett Grant dive right to the inside. He's going to get around that number 19 there of Matt Henry. Anthony Poston also coming along with him. I'm not sure if Matt Henry had something go wrong there. Maybe missed a shift. Didn't quite hit his corner entry because now he's under fire by Levitt for the 4th spot. So in one lap, he's going to go from being the leader all the way back to your 3rd spot, battling to stay in 3rd with the 38 of Levitt. Levitt to the inside, he's still trying to roll that inside. Levitt does have the fresher tires out of the 2 as he's going to actually go around him, and now Aspen Belvin going to look to the inside of the 38 as they go into the corner. Levitt's still going to roll out around the center of that corner. He's going to have the momentum. Aspen Belvin kind of lost the rear end of that car coming off turn 2. Now Matt Henry's going to look to the outside of him as they come off the corner. Matt Henry fighting back there. He has the momentum wound up in that number 19 Dodge machine. Aspen Belvin, though, fighting back in the Punisher car. He's going to have the momentum. That Henry in the 19 there, 24-lap old tires, falling backwards. Now side by side with Tanner Thews. That's for the 5th and 6th position. Christian Walker also right there hot on the heels, but looks like the guys who got out front real early, Garrett Grant, Anthony Poston, they've pulled a whole second over the next guy who's in 3rd. That's going to be Cody Levitt. Actually, it looks like if you look on screen, ladies and gentlemen, the 28 who had a beat-up car the entire race but held his track position now has a clean car. Can that 28 get around the 10? The 10 doesn't have quite the pace that he had when Anthony Poston had the beat-up car because he is all over him. Both of them, as you see him go into the corner, running 2 different lines, as the 10 maybe mirror driving just a little bit, as now they're going to go into the corner. It looks like the 10's going to block off Anthony Poston's drive line there. Going back a little bit in the pack here, it's still got the 84 of Aspen Belvin battling with the number 23 of Tanner Thews. Tanner Thews and Aspen Belvin on the same tire run. They both have 11 and 12 laps on the tires, so they came down pit road together that last time. Everybody's single filing out here. Everybody's kind of separating themselves from each other. Have to go a little bit farther back here. David Gainforth, who has actually 2 laps down but slotted in the 10th place. He was side by side with Henry there in the 19. Henry is in your 8th position. Right behind these guys, though, Alex Green and that tore up number 20 Home Depot machine, just kind of trying to limp that car to the finish as he made his way back onto the lead lap. Henry and Gainforth were still side by side there. You know, this is about the only battle that's on track right now, as they're still side by side. David Gainforth just putting on one heck of a show. Maybe a lap down, but he's a good driver, and he's just out there trying to have some fun with Fred Flintstone.
Yeah, I mean, even if you're a lap down, I mean, you want to race smart. You don't want to screw anyone's day when you're a lap down, but you're still out there. You're still running as hard as you can.
And Dave is going to be your first car 1 lap down. He is inside the top 10. So you can tell what kind of night it's been here, as actually Cody Levitt, timing and scoring, oh, nope, that was just a glitch. Timing and scoring showed him as the leader for a second. I was wondering how that happened, but he's still 1.6 seconds back from your leaders here. Garrett Grant still out front, Anthony Poston 2nd, Cody Levitt 3rd, Aspen Belvin in your 4th position, followed by the 23 of Tanner Thews, and Christian Walker is in 6th. Dave Sabin's going to be in 7th, Matt Henry 8th, Alex Green going to be 9th, and like we just said, Gainforth's going to round out your top 10. Alex Green is now caught in this battle here as as Henry and Gainforth have worked side by side. Looks like the, oh boy, we're going to go 3 wide here on the front stretch. What's going to happen? Henry's up into the wall. They're going to go 3 wide still into the corner. Alex Green's going to be the man with put his big boy pants on there and made it 3 wide here at Bristol. He shot the middle and he made it work. He made it stick. So that's going to break up the battle that we did have there side by side between the 101 and the 19. Alex Green now put him into the 8th position. Matt Henry back into 9th. Out front still going to be the number 10 of Garrett Grant, followed by Anthony Poston. Those two are still nose to tail. Cody Levitt, though, kind of closed the gap a little bit. 1.3 seconds now here for the 3rd place runner. They are all on the same tire run, so nobody has really an advantage other than it's going to be Nutrition here who can kind of save it. 40 laps left here from Bristol on this Friday night. The showing from the OP Throwback Series. Looks like Aspen Belvin and Tanner Thews were working around the lap car. The 00 of Scott Bellum, they made it around pretty easy. Tristan Walker's also going to make it around the 07, the Jimmy Spencer car.
Yeah, it makes you wonder if 28 is holding anything back, you know, just saving his tires maybe for the last, 10, 15 laps. It'll be interesting to see here if he's got anything for the leader coming up here. And we have Cody Levitt coming up behind too. He's on fresher tires as well.
Yeah, Cody Levitt, we just talked about him being 1.3 seconds back a little while ago, and before that he was 1.5 seconds back. Now he chucked that down to a 1.2 second lead So he's definitely on the move here in the late running here in that orange number 38 Deca machine. Look for him to catch these guys and make it a three-way battle here in just a couple laps, because now it's down to a second gap between the first, second, and third place guy.
Yeah, what Cody would like to see happen here is the 28 and the 10 start battling a little bit so he can catch up even quicker with them. If that happens, I mean, we're going to have a three-way shootout for the win.
Absolutely, and that's what we love to see, a three-way shootout from Bristol, anybody's ball game, because you never know what's going to happen, especially with that bottom groove coming in. We saw Cody Levitt make quite a few passes, and right now we have a battle for the lead. Looks like that 28. Oh, I lied. Wrong Dodge car. My mistake. Two Dodge cars out on the track make it quite hard to broadcast. You never know which one's out there, but the number 10 of Garrett Grant did get around the number 19 of Henry, and then I got all excited when I saw the 28 of Anthony Poston work to the inside of that number 19. I thought the two leaders were side by side, but nope, my mistake. The 10 of Garrett Grant got around him and then actually pulled a half second here on the number 28 of Anthony Poston. Cody Levitt now kind of fell back just a little bit, 1.3, 1.4 second gap now back to Cody Levitt as he worked around that lap car of Matt Henry. But your two leaders still right there in striking distance. Aspen Belvin coming a little loose off turn 4 there, throwing the rear end of that Haviland car out there towards the wall, but he didn't tag it. If he would have tagged it, it could have been a mess situation for that number 28 machine.
Yeah, it'll be interesting getting down here. Who's got, you know, what's left of their tires, you know, for the end of the race. It'll be really interesting to see if anyone's been playing possum.
We know who hasn't been playing possum, that 10 there of Garrett Grant, because he's been out front for 150 laps here. This time by, it's going to be 151 laps he led. He's going to walk away with the most laps led, because the next guy that had laps led, that's going to be Gainforth, David Gainforth, and he's actually 2 laps down. So nobody out here has led more than 20 laps here, other than Gainforth and Grant's still out front, showing the way.
Yeah, he's figured this place out. He's got a very solid piece under him. Something that really suits his driving style, and I don't know, it's going to be really something else, that 28. It looks like he's falling back now at this point.
And also the man who's cooled off himself, that's going to be the 38 of Cody Levitt. Cody Levitt did get that down to just about a second behind the leader, but he might have ran that car too hard too early, because now he's back to a 1.7 gap behind Garrett Grant. Garrett Grant putting on one heck of a clinic here. Somebody who also we haven't talked about in a while, and I know a lot of fans tune in here on, on YouTube to watch her. That's going to be the 00 Katie Haight. She's shown in the 21st position. She's loaded that car up. She's on her way to the next track, and the next track's going to be Texas, as she's 147 laps down here.
Yeah, she is always a force to be reckoned with, and I always, you know, see her in the mirror. It's like, oh man, I got to really drive it hard now at this point.
Yeah, but now we have a battle right now. Your second place guy, Anthony Poston, he's caught the number 10 there of Garrett Grant as they were trying to work through lap traffic. That was David Gainforth, and looks like Alex Green in the number 20 car kind of held up the 10. That allowed the 28 of Poston to get right back to that back bumper of the 10. So now we got a battle here for the lead once again. Leaders nose to tail. Cody Levitt also chewing into that gap a little more. He's down to a 1.4, 1.5 second lead.
Yeah, you wouldn't think a place like Bristol would be momentum based like a super speedway, but man, if you have to get off the throttle, you lose all your momentum and people can catch you in a real hurry.
Absolutely, as we see every time that 28 comes off turn 4, he's practically sideways, sliding the rear tire, so he's chewing tire life off that 28 machine. There you saw him look coming through turn 2 to the inside of the number 10, just not able to quite get to him. As you see the 10 kind of run a defensive line that time through 3 and 4. They're not running the way upper groove, trying to keep the momentum up. I think that number 10 is just trying to run the middle of the track, trying to stay out of the wall. And that's forcing Anthony Poston to run even lower where there's not as much grip. And especially once these tires heat up and on the longer run, they can't stick it down to the bottom.
No, you certainly can't. And you wonder, you know, going back to Earnhardt and Labonte, you know, is the 28 going to rattle that 10's cage maybe a little bit?
Well, we're not going to know, but we are inside 20 to go, 19 to go that time at the line, so laps are winding down. We're on one heck of a green flag run here. This is the longest green flag run of the night for the OP boys, and it's come down to 2 guys nose to tail with a third guy just lurking in the background, kind of fading a little bit. That's going to be the 38 of Levitt, who's running in the 3rd place. He's now 2 seconds behind the leader, kind of falling back towards Tanner Thews. Tanner Thews in that white car was your leader there for a while, kind of setting the pace, and then he got wrapped up into a wreck with the number 12 of Tony Quadros. That put him behind the 8 ball, but he's rebounded nicely to a 4th place running right now, and he's pulling up onto the 38. So there's going to be a battle for 1st, 2nd, and then there's going to be a battle for 3rd and 4th. So there's going to be a battle for every position inside your top 5 here.
Yeah, watching these top 2 guys, I mean, that 28, he's trying everything that I could probably think of trying to get around the 10, but it's one thing to catch a guy, it's another thing to pass him.
Absolutely. As you see, now the 28 has gone back to the top side. Now he runs the middle. He's going to make me a liar, but the 28 of Anthony Poston now a half second back of the number 10, so maybe the number 10 was playing possum with him, like you said a little while ago, cooling off the tires, letting the 28 there of Anthony Poston catch up and use his tires. You saw Poston once again sideways off turn number 4. David Gainforth, who is a lap down here, Gainforth is actually pulling on to the number 28 of Anthony Poston. Let's see if he kind of makes it difficult, if David Gainforth is going to go around the 28, or is he just going to back off and let Anthony Poston kind of run there. He knows he's not battling for position. He knows he's not in contention for this one, so let's see how hard Gainforth kind of battles with Poston. Your leader, though, he is up here in traffic once again. He's going to work around the 90 of Tallhurst, going to work around Saban, now go back to the inside here underneath Henry in that 19 Dodge car. So Henry, who was up front here early on and quite often actually led a couple laps here, off pace now, 2 laps down to the leader, slotted into your 9th position, kind of falling off towards the end. You see actually the 19 up into the wall there. Good thing he was able to come off the wall, but Anthony Poston just not able to get around these lap cars. He's kind of buried now, a second behind the leader. That's what happens. The leader has the choice. A lot of the lap guys are going to pull over for your leader. Just not going to quite pull over for the rest of the field, and that's what we see happening right here with the 2nd place.
Yeah, exactly, and you know, it's possible some of these lap guys don't even know that the 28 might be in 2nd there, so it is nice when you're leading. It's just like parting the Red Sea with the lap guys, you know, and it's, again, the league, it's all about respect.
Absolutely. Laps are winding down, 9 laps to go. We know Garrett Grant, who's out front, does not want to see a yellow, as he's got about a half straightaway lead, actually a half corner lead, if you will, also on the number 28 of Anthony Poston. Poston has made his way around lap traffic. Now Levitt's turn to try and make his way around the lap traffic as he sits in 3rd place. But he's now 2.8 seconds back. He's not going to have much of a factor here with only 8 laps now, 7 laps to go that time at the line. Every time we blink, another lap has gone by. These guys are still turning lap times right around the 15.4 if you're the leader, 15.6 for 2nd place, and a 15.7 there for 3rd place. So laps are winding down faster than we can talk about it. I just talked about the last lap, now 6 to go. It's going to be Garrett Grant's show right here. Garrett Grant, 175 laps led here tonight. All he needs is one more lap when he's going to get it this time at the line. If a yellow would come out from this point to the end of the race, it's over, locked, sealed. Send the stamp over to Alex Green, as he's the league admin. He puts these shows on every week for these guys. And Garrett Grant, he says, you may host the show, but I'm the one that's actually putting it on here at Bristol.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all him tonight. He's got this place figured out. I'm going to have to go back and test and try to figure out what he knows.
Well, we're going to find out here at the end if he can hold on to this number 1 spot. 4 laps to go here from Bristol. If he hangs on for this, we're going to possibly be able to get a word in with the guy. Maybe we can find out what his secret here was from Bristol. 3 laps to go this time. Anthony Poston still 1.2, 1.3 seconds back from your leader. Cody Levitt now 3.1 seconds. So there is nobody. All that Garrett Grant has to do is 2 more cycles around Bristol Motor Speedway here, and he's going to come out victorious. As you see him running that kind of defensive line, he's not going up there, putting it up against the wall. He knows if he puts it against the wall, bad things could happen. As he comes out of turn 4 here once again, one more time around that number 10, the Dodge dealer number 10. Going to be the winner here tonight if he can just get it back around one more time. Coming out of turn 2. Nobody really in front of him. No pressure behind. He just got to roll turn 3 and 4. As he comes out of turn 4 for the last time. Your winner here tonight from the Bristol Motor Speedway. That's going to be the number 10, Garrett Grant. Coming home 2nd, though, going to be Anthony Poston. And your points leader, Cody Levitt, coming home 3rd. He's going to extend the points lead. Tanner Thews rallying back for a 4th place finish. Aspen Belvin going to rally also to a top 5 finish. Tristan Walker comes home 6th. Dave Saban 7th. Alex Green 8th. Matt Henry falling off here at the end. And Dave Gainforth, even though he had a little bit of issues with that 101, the Fred Flintstone car, we saw him spin onto the backstretch one time and wrapped up into a couple of wrecks that weren't really of his doing. He's going to actually come home with the top 10, so a good showing there for Dave Gainforth. Well, race fans, you just watched Garrett Grant lead 181 laps here out of the 250 as he's out there celebrating right now. You don't want to go anywhere. We're going to step away for just a moment. We're going to get here to your post-race interviews. You want to hear what Garrett Grant did to lead 181 laps. You want to hear what Anthony Poston did to keep that damaged 28 inside the top 5. And Levitt, he was buried in the back of the field there until that long green flag run, and then he kind of stuck her there in third place, kept her there. So let's hear what Levitt did to keep that 38 machine back to the top. Well, ladies and gentlemen, 250 laps here from the Bristol Motor Speedway are completed in the books. Your winner here tonight is going to be Garrett Grant. He led 181 laps tonight. He put on one heck of a clinic. But before we talk to him, we're going to talk to your third-place finisher. That's going to be the 38, Cody Levitt. Cody Levitt, you got a copy with us.
I got you, man.
Well, Cody, not the starting position you wanted to start tonight as you started buried back in the 18th spot. We saw you have some trouble in qualifying. What happened? Let's just start off with what happened in qualifying for that 38 machine.
Just hitting the wall, coming off a 4 twice. It just didn't want to stick. A lot of different conditions than practice was. So from there, what did I start? Like 18th spot?
18th spot on the grid tonight.
Yeah, man. I just had to work and work and work and get through cautions. I was in like 17 wrecks tonight, but we made it up to third.
Yeah, you say you were in about 17 wrecks. That's probably about what we had here tonight. Is the Bristol track was not kind to a lot of these drivers. Tell us how, though, you worked from your 18th spot up inside your top 3 there for a while. Once we went back green flag racing that last time, Garrett Grant, Anthony Poston, they kind of checked out and had about a 1.7 lead over you. And you started to reel them in. You got them down to about a second lead with about 20 to go, and then kind of looked like the wheels just kind of fell off that 38 car.
Yeah, I was reeling them in, but then I noticed Tanner coming up behind me real quick. So it was the old case of, looking in your rearview mirror when you shouldn't be. And that's what happened. I got scared of him coming. He almost got me in the last lap. So congrats to Anthony and Garrett. I mean, especially Garrett for winning, finally. Good job, man.
Yeah, Garrett did put on one heck of a clinic, but we talked to you pre-race, Cody. You were the points leader over Tristan Walker by 99 points coming in here. You're going to finish, looks like 2 spots better than Walker, or 3 spots better than Walker. You're going to come home third. He's going to come home, 6th. So that's going to give you a little bit of an extension here on your points lead. As far as Sparks, who was the third place contender in points, he definitely not having the night he wanted. He's going to fall down there into the 14th finishing position. So looking forward here, we go to Texas next week. How is that 38 machine going to fare at Texas?
I think we have a shot at Texas. It's one of my better tracks. I'm just excited to get back to like a quad oval, you know? These short tracks are killing me.
Well, Cody, next week it's going to be a better race for you, hopefully, as that 38 car is beaten and banged pretty good. Congratulations on your third place finish. Once again, anybody you got a shout out that's on that car that helps you get to the track week in, week out? Any fans out there in YouTube side? I already know Donald Bennett's out there watching you, and Dan the Gamer, Danny Valenzuela pulling for you also.
Those two are my boys. I want to thank Deca Batteries for, you know, getting this car rolling. I want to thank whoever made these brakes because they helped me get through a lot of cautions today unscathed at the end, you know. Thank all my family. Yeah, that's it, man.
Well, a good showing here by your points leader tonight. Started out in the 18th position. Going to bring that 38 bright orange car. By the way, we love the bright orange. Got to give that a shout out. So there you heard it from the man, the 38 coming home in the third position. But now it's time for the guy who came home in the second position. That's going to be the number 28, Anthony Poston. Anthony, you got a copy with us.
Yes, sir.
First off, Anthony, we talked to you early on in the race, and that car was pretty much beat up, used up, and you were going to find that car in Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s graveyard. How the heck did you wheel and deal that machine to a second-place finish?
Oh, for the first half of the race, probably the first 75 laps, I had about a half minute's worth of damage, but it stayed pretty fast. It seemed to be all body work.
Yeah, his body work here at a short track really doesn't matter. So as long as the toe of that 28 was still dragging straight, you were going to be all right. And you gave Garrett Grant one heck of a run. You were just never able to get around him. Talk about the track and just how did you have anything left possibly for that 10?
Oh, with about 20 laps to go, he caught some traffic, and that was my one shot, so I gave it all it had, and I got up beside him a few times, but I had nothing else for him. He was just too fast tonight.
Yeah, fast is probably an understatement. I think you guys probably are going to have to tear that car down and check for some illegal modifications because 181 laps here out of the 250 were pretty much ridiculous. But you did, the bright side for you is you did lead 2 laps here. They may have been under caution, I'm not sure. But either way, 2 laps is 2 laps. That's probably going to get you a bonus point here, as you need all the bonus points you can get week in and week out because we are just running straight up points racing over here. Looking forward at the rest of the season, what do you see is going to be one of your strong suits coming up?
Actually, Texas. I've got a few wins in Texas, so I'm looking forward to that track.
Everything's bigger in Texas. You're going to have to put that Haviland car, the star on the hood, maybe just a little bit bigger so everybody can see it, but don't make it too big because it does have a little bit of red. They might think it's just a bullseye out there.
Earlier in the race, I felt that's what I felt like earlier.
Well, talking about early on in the race, just tell us about what was going on there. I mean, that car was pretty much beat up. What was from the driver's point of view going on out there?
It was just a lot of taking, not a lot of giving. I think it was a lot of guys just really learning the track again. It's been about a week since we actually raced here. We took a week off with the iRacing servers having an issue, so people got out of habit, ran other races, got used to other tracks.
Yeah, well, this was a short track, and the last time we were at a short track, if you can remember, back to Rockingham was pretty much the same way. Everybody has a lot of talent out here. That's why everybody's out here to show it, and sometimes when you put a lot of talent on a short track, it just doesn't fare well for a lot of guys, and we saw that here tonight. But fortunately, that 28 machine, the Haviland machine, did fare pretty well. Was pretty beat up in the early going, but you came home from our second-place finish. Is there anybody you got to thank, anybody out there that you got to give shout-outs to that helps you week in and week out over here?
Yeah, I want to give a shout-out to 3Y Motorsports, and actually Len McNeese and Dave Gainworth. They were in this race tonight.
Well,
I want to...
Go ahead.
Sorry about that.
No, hey, the floor is yours, my man.
Yeah, I want to give a shout-out to Ben Peterson also. He wasn't able to race tonight, but he actually taught me how to run this track last week.
Well, Ben, if you're out there listening, Anthony has to give you a shout-out and say thanks for showing him how to race because whatever you showed him really paid off for the driver of the 28. He's going to come home in your second place. Started first here, did have the pole on the initial start, but fell back to second, and that's pretty much where the 28 ended up here tonight, 1 spot shy there for the number 28 of Anthony Poston. But your winner here tonight, the guy who pretty much just dominated, nobody really had anything for him. That's going to be the winner of this. Garrett Grant, you got a copy with us.
Yes, sir.
Well, Garrett, it's about time we finally get to talk with you. We talk a lot about you week in and week out. Just unfortunate things happen to you, and this week all is well, and you're here talking with us.
Yeah, the past few races haven't been going well. I won Rockingham, but I've qualified in the top 5 pretty much every race besides Daytona when I didn't qualify, and I felt like I was just really unfocused the past few races, and just a lot of self-inflicted stuff, miscues on pit road and hitting the wall and stuff have plagued me, but not tonight, that's for sure.
Yeah, not tonight. You stuck that car out front, and you led 181 laps. Tell us about the track. We started this race and practice during the daytime, and then transitioned over to night.
It was different, that's for sure. This was my first day-night transition race, actually, so I didn't qualify as good as I wanted to because the track changed back today, and I didn't know that, so I didn't do too well in qualifying there. But the track changed a little bit. Yeah, I would say it was a little loose probably when the sun was out, but it started gripping up pretty good there. It only started getting a little tight on me at the end there when I had to pass those lap cars and stuff and heated up my tires a little bit.
Yeah, we saw there on that last run, the 28 of Anthony Possum was pretty much all over the back bumper of this number 10. Were you kind of playing Possum? Bill Bessler was up here in the booth kind of helping me out because my co-anchor Bobby Johnson, unfortunately unable to make it, had some family issues come up here tonight. So Bill filled in, and he was talking about maybe you playing a little Possum with the 28. Is that what you were doing as he got to your back bumper?
To be honest, not really. I was a little bit at first. I wasn't trying to push very hard because I figured he was trying to pass me. So I figured I'd just let him burn up his stuff and then me check out. But he started scaring me a little bit there at the end. I thought he was sticking his nose in there and getting right beside me, and I was like, oh man, I better start picking up the pace a little bit. But I ended up pulling away from him in the end.
Yeah, you pulled away from him and you let it, like I keep repeating, 181 laps. It's just kind of unbelievable with all the talent that these guys have over here. You're able to come in here week in and week out and you lead laps. But tonight, you just practically dominated and mopped the floor. You had 181 laps. The next guy who had the next most laps led here tonight was going to be the 101 of David Gainforth with 23. So nobody even in the same ballpark as you. The 28 kind of followed in your tracks all night, just not able to lead as many laps.
Yeah, this is my track. I don't want to sound cocky or anything, but I won my other throwback league I'm in. I won their race here or whatever, and I thought I had him by the balls but at the beginning there. Maybe not Katie, but this is just my track, and I put in a lot of time here, and I knew I could get it done. Nothing short of a win would have been disappointing for me.
Yeah, absolutely. And you talk about this being one of your favorite tracks. Looking forward on the schedule here coming up with the OP guys. We got Texas, Martinville, and Talladega. Out of those 3 tracks, which one are you looking forward to going to?
Not a big fan of Martinsville. I'd probably have to say I'm pretty decent at Texas. And I like the super speedways. I like Talladega. I usually don't qualify in those, and I lay in the back until the end, then I go. And I think the super speedways are a lot of fun, but I'll probably be pretty good at Texas too.
Well, like I said to Anthony when we spoke with him, everything's bigger in Texas. Maybe you want to make the Dodge dealer, the Dodge Ram there on the hood a little bit bigger, and so everybody can see you coming.
Yeah, I sure hope I'm holding that big trophy in Texas.
Well, Garrett, congratulations on your first place win here. Is there anybody you got to thank for that Dodge dealer's car putting it in victory lane here tonight?
Yeah, I just want to thank Dodge for making the best damn vehicles on the road, period. They're the best vehicle tonight, that's for sure. But I'd like to thank my buddy Travis. He was on the box for me tonight looking after me and stuff. And shout out to my buddy David, Chris, and Ed, everybody at Fame Motorsports, and all the rivalry racing guys too.
Well, did you just say Dodge makes the best damn car?
Yep.
How comes they're not in stock car racing anymore?
I don't know. I'd love to see him back. I thought those Xfinity Challengers, though, I think that was the last thing they had, looked amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually think Dodge probably has the best looking sports car on the market aside of the Corvette and the GT or the Ford GT. But hey, once again, congratulations on your win. Maybe we can see a Dodge back in NASCAR one day, but till next time, you're gonna have to hold tight to this Bristol trophy, and maybe you can shoot off the 6 shooters in Texas next week.
Yep, sure hope so. Thank you.
Well, there you just heard it from your top 3 guys. Garrett Grant leading 181 laps here. Anthony Poston coming home in second, led 2 laps, and your points leader is going to come away with a top 3 finish here. Cody Levitt putting that 38 machine in third. So 250 laps was the distance here tonight. Quite a few caution laps, but you kind of expected. It's Bristol, baby. What do you expect? One guy makes a small little mistake, gets up into the wall. It's going to clog the whole track up, and we saw that quite a few times. Well, it's about that time that we're going to run through your finishing order here from Bristol. At the top of your screen, you're going to see it right there. The leader, you just heard it from himself, the guy who led 181 laps. Garrett Grant comes home first. Second place going to go to the 28 of Anthony Poston. Your points leader, Cody Levitt, coming home third. Tanner Thews, who was leading at the time, getting caught up with a lap car who was in the wall. We just talked about guys getting into the wall and no place for the guy behind him to go. Tanner Thews involved with Tony Quadros, but he battles back for a 4th place finish. Aspen Belvin and his handlebar is going to round out your top 5. Coming home in your 6th position is going to be the 2 car of Tristan Walker. And another guy who battled all night with a tore-up car, going to be the 58 of Dave Sabin. He's going to come home in your 7th position. 8th position is going to go to the number 20 of Alex Green, who had no practice time, came in, put a fast time down in qualifying, kind of slipped a little in qualifying, but still started off pretty good. Then just kind of having a rough night, but rebounding for an 8th place finish. Matt Henry going to come home 9th in that number 19 car. He had a great car in the early run and through the middle of the race. Just really, the wheels just kind of fell off that machine, and he had one of those Dodges sort of like Garrett Grant, but you know, Garrett says it's the best car made. Matt Henry looking for a little more out of the car, maybe next week. David Gainforth in the 101, the Fred Flintstone machine. He had a great car, qualified up front on the pole, but just involved in a couple spins, not of his doing, and gonna have to settle for a top 10. Dave Hunt in the 53, gonna come home in the 11th. Christopher Brown, who actually didn't even make the grid here this evening, was laps down before he even got back into the car. He's gonna come home 12th. Scott Bellum, the in the 07, the Camel car, going to come home 13th. 14th is going to go to the 7 of Forrest Sparks. His night was pretty much done from the start. Aaron Tolhurst in the 90 coming home in the 15th spot. Lynn McNeese having a couple spins, wheel hopping going into the corner, is going to come home in the 16th spot. Timothy Truebridge, though, is going to come home in the 17th spot. Tony Quadros 18th. Brett Elmore coming home 19th. Bill Bessler, who was up here in the booth, we appreciate all the insight that Bill gave us up here and giving us a hand, coming home 20th. Katie Haight going to come home with that 00 in the 21st position. Chase Berry back in the 22nd position. Not a spot we normally see Chase Berry in. Unfortunate finish for him. Then it looks like Ed Walk is going to come home in that 23rd position. And the guy who didn't make the grid here tonight, unfortunately, going to be the 45 of Douglas Wysocki, coming home in 24th. There's your finishing order here from the Bristol Motor Speedway. Once again, Garrett Grant being the guy who led the most laps, 181 laps led here tonight, dominating fashion in that Dodge dealer's car. So congratulations once again to him. Well, next week we head to a little bit different of a track. We saw a short track here, the Colosseum. The Gladiators came out tonight to battle at Bristol, but next week we're going to go to everything's bigger in Texas. Texas, 167 laps are going to be scheduled from Texas. Who's going to walk away wearing the cowboy hat, shooting the 6 shooters off at the end of it? Well, you're going to have to tune in next Friday night, just like myself, to find out who that's going to be. Can Garrett Grant go back-to-back victories here with the OP 2001 Throwback Series? You're going to have to tune in next week to find out. But till then, knuckleheads, we'll catch you next week at Texas.